Welcome, everybody, to episode 60 of the effing title. And today, for our guest, it was the longest podcast we've ever done. It's also one of the best podcasts we've ever done. It is our good friend DeNutte. DeNutte, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I took a nap and woke up, and then it was like 7 when I did that. And I was like,
oh, you just woke up.
I woke up and then I went around, got a piss, grabbed some water, sat down, and then I'm sitting there and I'm like, this was a tactical error. I'm so tired.
I took my nap at 11, so
yeah,
I was ready.
Yeah, no. So of course, some people out there definitely will know who you are, and some people probably won't. So why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself and who you are?
Well, hey guys, I'm DeNutte. Friend of Huskies here. I stream every once in a while. I haven't been streaming as much, but I'm the resident consumer of media, but know nothing about it. Not a huge comic fan, but I love consuming comic products and film. So anything I say tonight is most likely going to be BS, but it's my opinion, and I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, no. That was one of the things. Like I said to John. Like John asked me today. He's like, so "Who's the guest today?" I was like, "John." I was like, "I completely didn't even think of finding a guest until like Friday, and then I just sent a new message. I was like, "Can you do this for Sunday?" He's like, "Yeah, I can," and that's how it happened.
I was like, "Well, I would just be." Well, I was watching Killers on Netflix just before we hopped on, so that's how my night was going.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, as you heard from DeNutte, he is one of the resident movie, TV, something butts. So for tonight, we will be talking though strictly about Zack Snyder's Justice League, Godzilla vs. Kong, and our first thoughts of the new TV show Invincible. Only available on Amazon Prime. I think it's only available on Amazon Prime after I said that. And you ready for this? I don't know if you have my page up, my stream up or not, DeNutte. But yes. I made something fancy. You ready for this? Ready for this? Bam! Yep. Spoiler warning.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's didn't even think about saying that, so that's a good call.
Yeah. Right. You like that one though. I like.
It's going to be. Yeah, because this is going to be nothing but spoilers.
Yeah, we're literally just gonna fully spoil everything. So if you if you don't want that, skip forward until like the outro section of the stream. Up until then, we're just gonna So
just like if you haven't seen either movie or the show, you're like, yeah.
The only one, maybe. I mean, not even the Invincible.
Well, no, Invincible.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So I had a buddy watch Invincible, and I was like, finish the first episode, and you'll know if you want to watch it again.
Yeah, exactly.
And he texted me after and was like, "Holy shit!"
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get into that, but.
All right, let's kick this bonanza of ungodly topics off. Really, if you think about this is 3 fucking wild.
They could be their own podcast.
Yeah, media things right now. But so let's start off with Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Can I preface something with going to this one?
Of course you can.
So obviously Husky's a huge DC guy. I guess I'm more of a Marvel fan, but at the same time, I've seen all the DC movies besides Birds of Prey. But anything I say is going to be purely opinion because I know nothing about the comics. This is purely from someone who consumes the movies.
And I think it's also fair to say I think it's always not always. Let me rephrase that. The majority of people I feel like are more Marvel fans than DC fans if they do like both. And I think it's mainly just because Marvel 20 years ago, 10 years ago, however fucking long it's been now, like they immediately were like we're setting up our like cinematic universe, and they started it. DC tried to do it, and you see the vision that Zack Snyder had now. Now we're finally seeing his vision like fully after the logical 3 movies.
Yeah. If it was fully fleshed out, it would have been amazing.
Exactly. Like the company gave him 1 movie, then gave him a second one, and then was like, okay.
What was the first one?
First one was Man of Steel.
Oh, that movie was great. That movie was great.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, no. So as DeNutte just said, I'm the DC fanboy of the entire group.
Did you like? Sorry,
Yeah, no, go ahead.
sidetrack already. Did you like Captain America: Civil War? Civil War.
Um,
No, Winter Soldier, second one.
the second one, I thought it was okay.
Yeah. So
I thought it was okay.
they have the show right now, and
Mhm.
I am loving the show, and it
Mhm.
has very much the feel of that one.
Well, okay, so you ready for this? You ready for this right
Mm.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
This is a little shout out to my boys Xander and Jagger over on their channel. I'll leave it in the
Shut.
description as well. They have Comic Relief, their comic book inspired podcast every week on
Ooh, I like that
Tuesday
name.
nights. So if you want to make sure, if you want to watch in and listen to them talking about the first couple episodes, there you go, Comic Relief. I'll leave a link in the description. Yeah, no, I remember watching, because of course I've watched almost all of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Because unlike some people, I don't want to be I want to be I'm always biased anyway because I like DC more. But
Yeah.
I want to at least be able to have a solid understanding of what's
Try to
happening.
be as impartial as possible.
Exactly, right? The original Captain Marvel, I mean, yeah, Captain Marvel, Captain America, I liked. The Winter Soldier, I thought was an interesting movie, and there was just parts that I thought were just kind of weird. And
Yeah.
then when Civil War came out,
Civil
um,
War's a mess.
I love it for the fact that it is a mess
Oh, okay.
because Warner Brothers released Batman vs Superman, right? They released the teaser for it, and at that point, Captain America 3 was supposed to be about like a nanovirus that turns people into zombies, but they're not really zombies, or like that's what it was originally supposed to be.
Okay.
And then the studio was like, "Oh shit, they're doing Batman and Superman on the same screen. We need to do something kind of on that level."
We need to move up the timetable of another Avengers movie.
Exactly, and that's where they did Civil War, and they've actually come out and stated that. So if anyone out there is, going to be like, "Oh no, they didn't," yeah, fucking look it up. So I just love it because, of course, everyone always complains about the Martha scene,
My
right?
mother. Your
Um,
mama's a mother.
um, to which I always respond with, "Okay, it's better than civil friendship." Because in the trailer, they literally break it down. It's like, wait, I thought you were my friend. I thought you were my friend too. Civil friendship.
Yeah, I don't know. It just that
Anyways,
movie in Ultron, Age of Ultron, was not for me. But Winter Soldier might have been it's in my top 3.
Captain America tries to choke a robot.
Yeah, but he was like a I always laughed at that, but I like he's also like kind of living, so
He
but
he
also
tried to
it's
choke
very
a
American. It's
robot.
very America to choke someone.
Anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League. What did you think? Just immediate thing. Boom. What'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. To me, it didn't feel like 4 hours.
Agreed. Agreed. There's some people that I've seen that have complained that it was 4 hours and that they could have removed stuff, and I was like, yes, they could have. And like I said it on Comic Relief because I was a guest on their channel last week or 2 weeks ago. I forgot now.
Right on.
But I said to them, I was like, could you have removed stuff and made it like a 3 hour, 2.5 hour movie? Yes.
It's
Would
not
it?
the point.
Well, my thing was like, would it have been as detailed and as like very well made? No, because I think the 4 hour stuff, like there's a lot of it that just kind of like, for instance, my buddy Rob, Rob,
Yeah.
um, he thought the like 15-minute Batman sequence at the beginning of him going over the mountain was too much.
No, I like that because that established how remote it is and why no one knows whose Aquaman is at this village, where this village is just completely on its own. You know what I really like? That scene where he's going out and the girl's singing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, there's something very chilling about that, and like very like this is like it's almost like they're losing a loved one again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
It's
know.
fun.
I loved everything.
I
Like, the 15 minutes they kept doing different things, like the Flash, this and that. It
I thought
established.
the pacing
Oh
was
yeah,
fucking incredible. Because, like you
yeah.
said, it doesn't feel like 4 hours. And I know, for instance, John watched it in multiple viewings. Like I
Mhm.
gave him, like watch the first this, watch the next this, watch this. Kind of broke it down for him. Like if you did it like this, then you could watch like an hour a day or an hour and a half a day and be done with it in a couple of days.
I won't lie. I took a nap after an hour because I was tired, and then
Oh, I don't blame you.
finished it.
I don't
It
blame you.
wasn't it wasn't because of the movie, it was just because that's Saturday and Sunday, I take a nap each day.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
my
well, my thing with it was like I woke up early to watch it, so I was like jacked up.
Oh, didn't you wake up, like, for when it came out?
It dropped to like 3 in the morning, so I woke up. I,
Oh,
I
okay.
I woke up and I made a coffee, and as soon as my coffee got done, I made a sneak while watching the
Mm.
movie, and then I drank a sneak while watching it too. So like I was fucking wired. And since then I've watched it like 4 other times now. So
Oh, really? You've watched okay.
mhm.
I keep trying to convince my friends to watch it. My, a buddy I was actually just talking to my buddy last night, and he watched it, and I was like, "Oh, did you like it better than the original?" He's like, "Oh, I never watched it." And I was like, "Huh?" And that kinda throws me off because it's like he was like, I heard it was such a shitty movie." And I was like, "Well, how can you justify watching
Mhm.
a 4-hour version of what you thought was a shitty movie?"
Yeah, and there's so many things that are drastically different,
Yeah.
right? Like for instance, let's talk about the Wonder Woman heist scene right at the beginning of the movie, right?
Yep.
Basically the exact same thing from the original version that we got, right? The Justice League.
Yeah.
But there was something about it. There was
You
something
know what it was?
was it the music? Is that what you're gonna go with?
No, I could say it all the way.
Okay.
Right away, because like, you and I talked about this extensively from Wonder Woman,
84.
84,
Yep.
is that her movements and everything about her was silly in that movie,
Oh yeah.
and, like, her movements were calculated. They did a lot of ramping as, Zack Snyder does,
Hmm.
but they didn't make her seem silly, they made her seem powerful
Hmm.
and precise and
And
not
that brings
not
me
running on ropes.
yeah, that was I like I trying to think of a way to word this. I understand why they did that.
Mhm.
Because they wanted to give because of course, making her move fast between like where I'm sitting right now and my door. You can do that with a little bit of CGI and a little bit of, kind of movement stuff and have it look okay, right?
Yeah.
Doing a long shot with multiple different angles of someone running down a street with other shit going on, I could see where the CGI at that point could become, very if at that point. So I get why they did it. I still agree though with you. It was fucking weird. Like I remember watching it and
Yeah.
being like,
Well, like, that whole, like, technique is used, like it's, like, shows the difference between, like, Taken,
mm-hmm,
like, the 80-year-old Liam Neeson versus, John Wick, where it uses one camera,
mm-hmm,
wide shot, looks at him, shows his skill, versus, old man Liam Neeson trying to, like, fumble himself over a fence,
yeah.
where it jump cuts 20 times.
Um, yeah. Oh, one of the other things I was gonna say. The other thing that I liked about the opening with the Batman thing is, and you hear Arthur and I guess the town elder
Mhm.
talking is like they said that like his plane or his helicopter got down like 5 days ago. There's no way he made it over the mountains in 5 days, like that sort of thing. And it just
Yeah.
shows that like it shows you the sort of Batman that we're dealing with, right? Because
He's not just rich, he's also a psycho.
yeah, like you think about it, like this is a Batman that's been going for 20 years. And I bring this up every fucking time because it's the coolest fucking element of this Batman. It's a veteran Batman. So if he says his mind out to do something, he's not fucking stopping until that's done.
And I don't know if Affleck was sober during this movie, but he did not portray drunk Affleck at all.
So the only scene there was a more recent scene with Affleck,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
today's
yeah,
age.
yeah. Like they did a reshoot.
I think it was the nightmare sequence and the end sequence in the cabin when he sees Martian Manhunter. Because
Okay.
you can physically tell in the Martian Manhunter one, he's smaller. He looks smaller. He's puffed
Because
up. He like puffs himself up and like kind of like puffs his chest out. But other than
yeah,
that, though, you can tell that he's. But no, man. I mean, he was in a good mind place when he originally shot Justice League and Batman vs Superman.
because I know like those suits they make you look better, but even like in clothing,
Mm-hmm.
he looked great. I'll say
Bro,
it
I mean,
about Ben
it's
Affleck. Affleck had it.
Bat, Batflack like a motherfucker.
Yo, yo, you were the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Yo, you the bomb in BVS, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, 100%. You're right. I mean, um, I'm just thinking of a way that we should do this. Let's just do this. Let's break it down by character. How about that? Let's
Okay, go
easiest
ahead.
way to do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll
Um,
just keep talking if we don't.
yeah. Batman. Let's start with Batman because we're already on Batman. I think that this Batman showed perfectly why Zach picked Ben. In BVS, we got Batman. In Batman vs. In Justice League, we got Bruce Wayne.
Hmm.
And I think that's the way that I can categorize him, right? In BVS, you see it and you see he's Batman, right? He's the way that he
It's
moves, the way that he
he's
fights.
hopeless.
Exactly. He's like the old broken Batman. Now we're
Yeah,
starting to get him like basically rebringing his life around. I mean, at the end of the movie, I mean, Alfred, says to him, what's different this time? And he's like, faith, faith, Alfred, faith. And it's like that right there is that's the full arc right there, basically, of him being, I'm gonna kill Superman to gotta have faith.
we need to save everyone.
Exactly. And I think that Ben did a great job in this movie, especially. And I love the fact that there's some funny scenes, like him and Diana both reaching for the mouse at the same time.
Yep.
And just kind of, Bruce is very suave. And he's very confident around ladies. And seeing him kind of insecure a little bit right there was kind of cool because it shows that like maybe there is something potentially there in the Snyderverse. Maybe some Wonder Bat.
I don't know. Now that you say that, you don't see him interact with any other woman in the series besides her.
Exactly. The only time you see him with other women is in BVS when there's like women in his bed.
Oh, did that happen?
There's like one or two scenes where like he's like
okay.
there's like a woman or two in his bed maybe or something. But I mean, no, you're 100% correct though. I mean, and that's the thing, right? Is like I think that that's a very it could set up something interesting with how things are supposed to go, potentially down the line.
Interesting.
But yeah,
I felt, and then all right,
okay.
Wonder Woman. I felt like she was the same.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see a lot of change in her character, other than like that opening scene, and how she reacted. She was definitely more receptive to being on a team. It seemed than the last. I don't know. She seemed like, yeah, this has to happen.
I felt that she was more. We see we see more of the original Wonder Woman than the '84 Wonder Woman in this one. I feel. Yeah. It's more of the kind of she's here to save the world. She's very suspicious though still, and like the one scene that I would say, and I give Gal Gadot huge props on this is when she fights Doomsday, right? She's smirking. She has a smile on her face. When she fights Ares, she has a smirk on her face. When she's fighting Cheetah, she has a smirk on her face, right? Like she's very confident facing all these people. When she's in the apocalyptic like war room there or the history room, and she sees the picture of Darkseid and just the pure look of like terror on her face. Like I gotta give her props for that because it was perfect to just show you like nothing about Darkseid, nothing about this person, and then you see her like looking at a picture and she's terrified. That shows you what like power level or like what hierarchy this guy's set out.
And it's just like Gamora when she's thinking of talking about Thanos,
But no, like that, like I thought it was a really good acting job with it being not a vocal.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah,
yeah. The way her presence, the way she carries herself is just. She carries herself like with chest high more than any other character, except for our man Henry because he's a chiseled stone.
Yeah, because he's yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
So now let's go to so the other thing I want to say is I think Zack Snyder did a beautiful job of making Diana very sexual without over sexualizing her.
Yeah, I feel like there was because the other one was very much like she's a female, Batman's a man.
Well, it's like they had like the scene where like Batman and Barry are on the lift coming off the plane with the car, and they do it from behind Batman's shoulders in Zack's version, and in Josh's version, it's like from the ground looking straight at Diana's ass, and then Batman's in the background.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And then you have the scene where Flash runs into her boobs, and then he freaks out because
I
like,
do like that he's like obsessed with her, and he's like, "Do you think he'll go for a
oh
younger
yeah,
man?" Yeah, she's like 3,000 years old, however old she was.
Barry, she's 5,000 years old. Every man's a younger man to her. And then what was the other one? Oh, the fight in the fight at the monument. So
A completely different scene.
in the Justice version, and for anyone out there who wants to know, you can look this up and you'll find it because it is fucking. It's disgusting. This is the best way I can put it. Is it's disgusting. Superman and Wonder Woman start fighting, and they get into a headbutting contest basically. In Zack's version, she grunts, right? She's getting fucking headbutted and she's headbutting someone.
Oh, you sent me the video of this. That's right.
In the Justice version, in the 2017 version, the Joss Whedon made, she sexually moans every time she gets headbutted or headbutts. And it is the most disgusting fucking thing once you see it's like hear it and notice the difference. It's the most disgusting thing that you will ever see. At least that's how I felt anyway. I don't know about you. It was like why? Why?
Yeah, it was more why. I don't know if it felt sexual, but it was very. They did get rid of her going, ugh, or like she didn't grunt, I guess, and that could, yeah, I don't know. It was weird that they had it.
Yeah,
I will admit with that, it was weird.
So here's my question for you now. Now we're moving on
Yeah.
with characters. Aquaman, Momoa, what'd you think?
Because
this
going
is
back. Yep.
Go ahead. No,
So going back to that scene where she said the woman sang him off.
Mm-hmm.
They changed that scene too, in
Mm-hmm.
a lot of different ways.
They changed a lot of that scene, bro.
Scene was completely different.
They completely removed like the Diana going to the Temple of the Amazons. Completely removed that and put it in with a cartoon drawing of Aquaman, like holding 3 mother boxes on a fucking wall, like that sort of thing. Like
that was cool though. Her going to the temple.
It was like, why would you remove that?
There's like, yeah, I liked that a lot. Well, you can't sexualize someone in a dungeon, I guess. I guess you can.
Bob Boy Momoa though, what?
So,
because this is Momoa is one of the rare instances where the Justice League movie happened, so people saw who he was. Then we have a full movie now of him, and now we have the actual way that like Zack wanted him to be portrayed. This is the first one across the whole board where that happens.
True. I kind of thought Aquaman was a piece of shit, but that's for other reasons. Jason Momoa, huge fan of Jason Momoa.
Facts.
I'll say it like that. But that scene where my favorite part of that scene, one of the favorite parts, is that like in the Justice League, Batman actually sees him. He goes into the water and like super pushes himself away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh yeah, he has powers. But in this one, he like looked away at the woman singing, and then he looked back towards Aquaman, and he was just gone, which I felt was a stronger symbol of who that man was.
Oh, I mean, well, like, and he says right before that, the strongest man is the strongest alone. Right, yeah. And then and then it's like he's the strongest alone. He's not gonna show off his power. He's just gonna be fucking gone.
Yep.
You know, and I completely agree with you now that you say that. That's actually a really good one.
I really liked it. Yeah, that was like, that's why that scene was so powerful to me, with like the singing with him just disappearing. Mm-hmm. So my thing is that like for Jason Momoa, they didn't cast him as Aquaman. They cast Aquaman as Jason Momoa.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So a lot of who he is an actor and things like his comic relief, his like. So there's the scene on when they're in the jet flying to Russia in Justice League.
Yeah,
when he sits on the whip.
Yeah, when he sits on the fucking lasso. Yeah,
the lasso. Sorry, that was one of my favorite scenes from the original movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, as soon as I saw that, I immediately knew that was an Zack one because it's
very Marvel-y.
Well, it starts off okay, but then it just takes it over the top, and it just keeps going. And it's like it's one of those things where it's like it's that thing of like a joke not knowing when it needs to end.
Yeah. Nope. I love it because that's. Yeah.
It's interesting because like there were scenes with like it's
Oh,
a,
I can give you another scene that
well,
will.
like yeah, I mean, there's plenty of them. I just there's it's a weird one because for me, like, of course, I've stated before, Aquaman is one of the reasons why I got into DC, like DC.
Okay.
Um,
As an actual character.
yes, as an actual
Okay.
character, I love Jason
Yeah.
playing him. I think that
Mhm.
it's a smart. I think it was easily the smartest choice that you could do. Now
Yeah.
that he is Aquaman, I physically cannot see anyone else doing him.
Fair.
Um, it's just that now, like I said, the tough thing for me is the fact that we got the shitty version in 2017. Then he got
Yep.
his own movie, which I thought was an okay movie. And now we have this version, which is a little bit more like, like what we know. He's secluded. He wants to be by himself. He's not overly showy. He's just gonna do his thing, and he's kind of that rough biker sort of guy, right?
For sure.
Who's kind of like, hey, look, respect the sea.
So for my thing is that like him for me that what worked in the original is that like he's all those things,
Hmm.
but a person that's all those things his whole life is not the best at handling situations.
True.
So like when they wake up Superman and they're at the monument in the original one, uh
Oh yeah, he has a fucking he says something, doesn't he? He says some fucking
yeah,
like
so what's
quip.
my Cyborg goes he's like, "Hey, Arthur, like control your heart rate." He's like, "Dude, this guy is not okay. I can't help it. He's not okay." Like it was
Shit,
the
I
way he
forgot
said it,
about that. Holy
and
shit.
and so they got rid of
Wow,
that.
fucking A.
Yeah, and that was like another one of my favorite scenes of him was that like
But
he was just like
oh my god,
he
like
was like straight up like
I need
something.
to.
Hey,
I've never said this before. I might need to watch the 2017 version again. I've never thought I'd say
uh,
that before. Well, no, because okay, so
yeah,
when Cyborg puts his hand into the ship and everything, it tells him that this is a bad decision, right? Like this
yeah,
is not a good thing to do. And then he has his nightmare vision, right?
yeah.
Diana's dead. Darkseid kills fucking Aquaman and all the other shit that happens. So that's in his memory banks. So when Superman's looking across all of them, that's why like you suddenly see his like head tilt and his like defensive mechanism comes on because
Yeah.
in his head he just saw what happens in the future. So Superman is a threat in his head, and they
Yeah.
completely turned that around for the movie.
Mhm.
Like that one, I like completely fucking glossed over. Jesus
I
fucking
do I do
Christ!
really like that arc, but it was something about Aquaman knowing that something's not right, but for being a loner this whole time, he that's the only way he can express it, which is also comic relief. But that is like an awkward
S-
person going, "Who's ready
Speaking
to fight?" Being like, Guys,
See, like
come on."
the one that I thought was the best thing, and it is better than all of the Justice 2017 version, is right at the end fight scene, where like him and Cyborg show up, and he's like, "Hey, hey, ready for round two? Like, remember
Yeah.
me?" I thought that was better than all of it because that's the sort of comic relief that I like. That's the sort of
Mhm.
comedy that I like in these movies. Is the
Yeah.
when it like is very subtle, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I could totally see him fucking do that. It's like, hey,
Mhm.
hey, remember me? Round two. Um, but speaking of comic relief, let's go to the character that had a lot of the comic relief removed and a lot more heart put in, and that's fucking Barry Allen.
I I think there was more added actually. I think they took away some of like the goofiness, but made
Hmm.
him more awkward and funny.
Exactly. It turned it from him being like a goofy kid to just an awkward kid.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you think about it, you look at where he's living at the time. You see it. He like crawls underneath some like fencing, goes into a warehouse, and then puts the fucking like battery back in, and then
Mm.
turns the power on.
I know that part that apartment's fucking sweet.
Right? But like, think about that though. So he every day he does that.
Yep.
So he's like living like basically illegally in a place is the way that I
Oh
saw
yeah, he's
that.
squatting, he's stealing power, and like
So like he's
it's
awkward, he's off the grid, and you can kind of see it with the way that his mannerisms and everything. But like I just like the amount of scenes they cut of his, like how
oh, dude.
I'm
I know.
never.
Hold on, I know what you're getting into, but I
Oh,
love.
it's the best scene in
So
the
I
whole
know
fucking movie.
that. Yeah. So God, that's why I'm doing this first because that scene's better. But like, I know a lot of people have watched the Flash, the show, so or anything else, so you know his backstory, and now his dad's in prison. I like that they actually included that, even though it's like cliche, but it really brings back together why this kid's so awkward doing what he's doing.
Oh yeah, and it's like, but it gives him also like you see it in there. He has a purpose. He knows what he's trying to do. Everything that he's doing in his life right now is to get to a point so he can get his dad out of jail.
Weirdly, the only character that has a real purpose or like a goal other than has there's a finish line he has to get to.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is you think about it. I mean, Wonder Woman is just kind of trying to stay undercover still.
Yep.
Right, because this is before she's like, I'm just going to be fully out and I'm Wonder Woman. Batman's only goal in the whole thing is to put the League together.
Yep.
Soups is dead for half the movie. Aquaman is just kind of, he wants to be a loner, and yeah, he has his goal, and then Cyborg is just kind of
he's trying to find himself.
We're gonna wait for that part because that's gonna take a good fucking 20 minutes by itself. Because holy fuck, the amount of fucking disrespect that they did to fucking Ray Fisher is unreal. But yeah, getting to arguably the best fucking scene in the entire movie. How do you remove the mother boxes synchronizing, starting to destroy the planet, the Flash freezing time or slowing down time, going back in time, which is recreating the fucking Russian area? How do you remove that for the Flash saving some random family that nobody gives a fuck about?
I don't know, man. It just can I knock one part about the scene?
Which one?
What do you think of his running?
So his running. So this is one of the things that I've actually looked a little bit at. Okay, his running is more for God. What the hell is the name of it? It's oh shit. He kind of says it at the beginning. It's like professional ice skating or something like that.
Oh, ice. Yeah.
If you watch speed skaters, that's how they move, right?
Yeah.
But then even then though, it's like it's such a minuscule thing to me, right? Because like you can see the running in the Flash show, right? Like you've seen that where.
Oh yeah, it's not the best.
Like I'm 100% okay with them doing something kind of completely different because if you think about it, like normal running, yeah, you can only go so fast. Speed skating, like that's like the helmet looks like a speed skater helmet.
Yeah,
and the way that they move is to get that high speed. So it kind of makes sense for the character to kind of move like that, right?
Oh, it 100. Everything you're saying, I'm like, no, that's a cool way to do it. But it doesn't look cool.
It looks weird. It looks weird.
I guess that's at the end of the day, like that's why I do like Marvel because what they do is sexy and it looks cool, and it's where Barry Allen running like a speed skater is kind of practical.
Yeah,
in a sense, and his helmet is shaped like that to be more aerodynamic, which makes sense, but it's not sexy.
Yeah, you don't need sexy. All you need to do is just watch the fucking GIF there that I have on my Twitter account, which is the one where Batman. They look up at Batman and he's just standing there on the fucking gargoyle. That's the sexiest scene in DC, and that's all you need to know. But no, they turned the Flash from pure comic relief to an actual well-rounded character that had the best scene in the movie.
Who wasn't afraid to be strong.
Exactly. Like they put in the line, I don't really know how to use my powers. I just kind of push things and run away. To what we got in this movie, which is him like fully understanding his powers and being like, look, like if I move too fast, like shit kind of gets weird and stuff kind of starts working, wrong. And I like, hey, like, ooh.
And then he did run and push stuff and run away, and it worked.
But you don't need to fucking say it though, Okay, so now let's get on to the big one, Cyborg.
Okay. I have no opinion of Cyborg.
Okay, explain.
I feel like they did a much better version of that building that character.
Hmm.
But from watching the first one, I was like, this character sucks. But I think that's just how they did it. I don't
So
know.
I, of course, a lot of the things that have come out is the fact is the whole Warner Brothers didn't want an angry black man being the main character of their franchise, like that sort of thing, right?
Mhm.
Or movie.
Is that something they've come out with?
Well, that's a lot of things that have been coming out, right? Because if you look at it,
Okay.
if you look at the amount of stuff that they cut of his,
He was, I guess, in a sense, an angry black man.
like they cut a lot of stuff, and a lot of the stuff that they cut has no reason being cut. The part where like his dad's like telling him what his powers are, and he like goes into the virtual bank and sees the mother struggling and kind of just increases her bank account.
That was a cool scene.
The fact of him like learning how to fly, like the fact that they actually had the balls to kill his dad in the movie, but they did it in a way that set up the ending of the movie.
Am I imagining things wrong? But in Justice League, did they make it in a way where he didn't know if he was really him?
What do you
Was
mean?
that a I don't know if I'm remembering something wrong. Oh, you know what it is? I'm thinking Titans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But in
because
the
he's in Titans, right?
no, he's in Doom Patrol.
Doom. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
he's in
Doom
Doom Patrol. Yeah,
Patrol.
he doesn't know if he's in
I okay, I
control of
watched.
himself. Yes,
I did watch, and that's sorry. That was me. That was mixing that up.
but in the Justice League movie though, they completely like they remove the football scene, which removes the death of his mom, which also removes how he got injured.
Can we address the football scene real quick?
What? What about it?
Uh,
I fucking loved it. I thought it was great. I love
yeah,
the fact
yeah.
that it was against Wisconsin.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was against Wisconsin.
So I thought it was a high school game until I
Nope.
saw the university
Mm-hmm.
stuff because it was very much treated like a high school game, like Letterman jacket.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah, it's yeah. There's some like I get what you're saying with that, and I can see
I
that.
liked it a lot, but it was just like I didn't realize he was a college kid till after the scene where he was
Okay.
wearing a university thing. I was like, oh wait, that was a college game.
Yeah, I think it's.
But I don't. Go ahead. Sorry.
What I was gonna say is I think the reason why they did that was more for kind of like the hey look like this is for people who don't know football. If you show them a Letterman jacket,
Yeah,
they think like
people know what that is.
that's I think it was more for that than
Yeah.
anything. Um, but like they removed that. They removed so fucking much of his stuff. Like, and it's just it baffles my fucking mind why you would, because he's fucking great. Ray Fisher
He
went
is
from
good.
being like I think he was a theater actor to then boom Justice League, and he fucking knocked it out of the park. Like imagine if the movie we just saw came out in 2017,
Mhm.
he would be a household staple name right now.
He was in the third season of True Detective,
Okay,
which I did not. I actually didn't watch that. I should watch that.
I haven't watched past the
Um,
first one.
but his first big movie was Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, and that was the cameo in it.
Yep. And then his first real movie was Justice League.
Yeah, so like that movie, like if you're watching that movie in 2017, in 2021, that dude is a main staple name that everybody fucking knows of right now. In my opinion.
Uh,
In my
I don't know.
opinion.
And yeah, but like again, I don't think. Do you have metrics on how many people watch this movie?
No one does. So here's a fun fact. WB is refusing to release the numbers.
So it is a very Netflix thing.
Oh no! WB has released the numbers for every other movie that has been released on the platform, but this one.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So that could mean I don't know. What does that mean? Does it mean no one watched it?
So what it means, well, I can tell you right now, people watched it because in different places around the world, we actually broke the HBO Max servers.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, to make
Cool.
a fucking point. Um, No, they're refusing to release the numbers. And Anna Sarkoff, or I think her name is, or something like that. She's one of the execs. Came out and said, like, that's the end of that's the end of the Zack Snyder stuff. We're not working with anymore. None of this stuff is canon. This is where the story ends. They're not going to do anymore. And DC fans are like, makes fucking excuse me. Like,
Doesn't make any sense.
like it doesn't. And so, like, now you may have seen it, and everyone out there may have seen it. The war cry from Release the Snyder Cut is now changed to what the fuck is it? Restore the Snyderverse. And for everyone out there that doesn't know, that doesn't mean we want DC to stop working on everything else. We want DC to continue working on everything else, but we want Zack Snyder's universe fully fucking fleshed out. We want that too. We are basically telling them, give us more, give us what we want to get, and we'll give you more money than we're already going to give you.
Do you think that's going to happen, though?
I mean, me and John had this conversation for the last 4 years about the Snyder Cut. Sean said it wouldn't come out, and I said it's that. I was like, I was like, I find it hard to believe that it will not. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the same things. I'm going to say this. I find it hard to believe that we will not get Justice League 2, Justice League 3, a Arkham Batman versus Deathstroke, Man of Steel 2, a Cyborg movie, a Martian Manhunter miniseries. Like, there's so many things that you can do now after this. Like, this movie sets up so much that you could potentially do. It's fucking unreal.
I don't see a Batman movie happening, honestly. I think Affleck's out.
Well, no. So you know the reason why you say that? It's because It's because of the 2017 version. Because of all the behind the scenes shit that we're now finding out. It's that because he was filming another movie. Guess who left the set to come film in Zack Snyder's backyard? Extra scenes for the Justice League movie. Like, hopped on a plane immediately and flew there.
Was he like, as long as you don't record my back tattoo, we're fine?
Maybe. I mean, but no, seriously. Like, he was like, okay, cool, I'll be there. And he like fucking he dropped everything he had and just flew straight to where Zack was to film these extra scenes in his fucking backyard.
Quick tangent.
Go ahead.
Have you ever seen a picture of Ray Fisher?
Yes. He streams on Twitch.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
My man's hot.
Bro, but like he ain't unattractive, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I don't know. You'd only see him with a robot body.
Yeah.
So Affleck, I don't know. I've always really liked Ben Affleck, but his choices in the last couple of years were weird. Like his basketball movie.
I thought that was a fucking fantastic movie. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Yeah,
that movie I thought was
stuff for it.
So watch it. Watch it with an open mind and think about just kind of like because I watched it and it hit me kind of in a weird way.
Okay.
Watching it, because it has to do a lot with mental illness and alcoholism and kind of not knowing what you're doing, sort of thing.
Not being in control.
Sort of, yeah. And it's like it's a very good watch. Trust me.
Okay.
At least give it a try. How about that?
I've watched. Weirdly enough, I've watched 2 podcasts that was the subject of the podcast.
Interesting.
And I was like, of people who I enjoy, and I was like, yeah, I don't know.
It's one of those ones where like when you see the trailers and stuff, you're like, I don't know. But if you sit down and watch it, it's like I said, it weirdly could hit you in a way that you weren't expecting.
Hey, my favorite show of the last year was is Ted Lasso. You heard of it?
Sounds familiar. Let me look it up.
So it's an Apple TV show.
Why do you explain that?
That explains it. But it's Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that
guy. Yeah, he's great.
Oh, it's the one where he's the fucking American football coach and he goes to England. Yeah, and he's a soccer coach. Yeah.
He's a soccer coach of a Premier League team in London.
Yeah,
like the top tier soccer teams in London and in England, in their country, really. And yeah, they bring him on, and he is just so charming.
Oh, yeah, there was a whole
funny.
So there was a whole like
it was the ABC Sports or NBC Sports like 7 years ago. They did a whole thing
yeah,
with
they
it.
did a bunch of like little one-offs with him. Yeah.
I think technically it was an SNL spinoff. But they changed up the character a little bit because they kind of made him not dumb, but they made him arrogant
Oh,
in
okay.
those. So they changed it a little bit to this where he's not arrogant. He almost seems aloof, but there's like it's a wiseness behind it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And there's a scene that I keep going back to watch, and it makes me tear up. Is like how like it's a dumb comedy that like you should watch it.
Okay. I definitely I've now that you've said it and I've seen
Yeah.
it, it's like, oh, it's that one. Okay, yeah. Um, the Batman one though. A lot of stuff has come out about that recently. Joe Manganiello is just opening up and telling everyone everything.
He's the big dude, right?
Yeah, he's the big mother. He's Deathstroke.
Yeah. He's the
Yes.
werewolf.
Yeah. Which by the way, he's fucking 6'5" and Ben's 6'4". Like those two guys are like the living embodiment of those fucking characters, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, and that dude has his own Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
yeah. But Joe Manganiello though has come out recently and said that like so Ben's script was supposed to be an Arkham style movie, where it's an Arkham style movie, but also like a David Finch's The Game movie, where Deathstroke has lost his son, and he blames Batman for it because Batman had a hand in it.
Okay.
So the whole movie is about Deathstroke basically systematically just destroying Bruce Wayne's life bit by
That's
bit.
cool.
And at the end of the movie, there's an Arkham style fight scene between the two of them. And what they've actually done is they removed the Mirakuru and the Super Soldier Serum from Deathstroke. So they both trained at the League of Assassins, and Deathstroke is just faster than Bruce. That's all it is. He can think faster, he moves faster, everything about him's faster. So Deathstroke is actually winning the fight.
It's Train Killer.
And then Batgirl shows up. So now it's a
Who's
2v1.
Batgirl supposed to be? Did they ever?
He never stated who it was, but there was a lot of rumors at different points about who it could have been.
Uh-huh.
And I wonder if I can actually find, because there was one at one point, and I remember seeing it, and it was like someone said that this was basically this was who it was supposed to be. Oh no, it's not a you people. I can't see it right here just from looking quickly at this. But yeah, no, she was supposed to show up though, and like help like Batman win basically the fight. And that was to introduce her, and then there was supposed to be a spin-off show on HBO Max or on whatever where she takes over for her dad.
Well, didn't they have a Batgirl show on CW that got canceled like pretty quickly?
No, they had a Birds of Prey one back in the day that had her in it.
No, but like on CW?
No.
No, there was like a Batgirl show, I'm pretty sure.
There may have been. I don't remember it, so that's what I'm saying.
I
No.
think it was Ruby Rose.
No, Ruby Rose was freaking Batwoman.
Oh, Batwoman.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Batwoman.
Well, to me, it's the same thing.
So yeah, some of the people are saying it was Jean Malone, but I don't think that's right. But yeah, no. So like that was supposed to be like that one. So could you imagine a Batfleck, Deathstroke, Manganiello, Arkham style fight scene?
I actually don't know who that is.
Who?
Who did you say?
Manganiello?
Who?
Deathstroke.
Oh,
The guy who plays Deathstroke.
no, I thought you were talking about the Batwoman.
Oh, Batgirl
Batgirl.
was she's one of the people from Hunger Games.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So like, imagine that though, like an Arkham style fight scene in live action with Batfleck and Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would have been fucking wild.
All
Okay,
right.
so now
Please don't take this the wrong way.
go ahead.
I just don't think the universe has the backing, or like I don't think it has the interest.
So you say that?
Yeah.
Restore the Snyderverse had 1.5 million hashtags in a single day.
Mm-hmm. For that's for like a diehard fan. but I don't think a
But
lot of
you're saying that's for a diehard fan?
yeah.
1.5 million. There isn't 1.5 million diehard DC fans.
Well, all right. Well, okay. Take it this way. It's these movies. Eventually, I think movie theaters are going to be restored
Yes, 100%.
and more of a capacity to where they are now, where they're not going to be showing things on HBO Max day of.
Oh no, they've already announced that in 2022 they're not doing that,
Yeah. So
which is stupid.
I don't
in my
think
opinion.
there's enough interest for a normal person to go to the movies to go see one of these movies again after like especially like track record like Suicide Squad for a lot of people I know ruined a lot of like the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not bashing it,
No.
like I like
So that's another
this.
movie that Warner Brothers put their finger in and destroyed the original version of it.
Yeah, that movie was not great, and it had a lot of potential. Like I
If
fucking
you
love Will Smith in that movie. I love.
watch, it's one of those things. If you watch David Ayer's Fury and then go and watch David Ayer's Suicide Squad movie, you can tell that something wasn't right.
Well, have you seen one of David Ayer movies?
Yeah.
Did you see his first one? Like
No,
Hostile Times or something?
I saw Fury before.
Okay.
Yeah. But like
So his movies are very hit or miss.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. But like you can tell just cinematically.
No. His movies are very hit or miss.
I get what you're saying. What I'm saying though
Harsh
is
Times was his first movie, and that was one of the biggest piece of shit movies I've ever seen.
How many people have a hit movie on their first movie? DeNutte?
No, it was starring Christian Bale.
There's plenty. You know how many fucking Michael Caine movies I can find that are absolute shite?
Like Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
All right, let's look at his other. Street Kings, not a great movie. I don't know if you saw that.
I was gonna say that sounds familiar.
It was people liked it, but that was a Keanu Reeves, Forrest Whitaker, Chris Evans, Cedric the Entertainer, J Mar, Terry Crews. It was about crooked cops.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, okay, so you're hitting these ones off. I'm gonna hit you back with them.
Oh no,
Training Day.
I'm not done. He didn't do Training Day.
He was the writer on Training Day.
He didn't direct it.
He was the co-producer.
End of Watch, amazing.
Yes.
Sabotage, real piece of shit. Fury, great. Lil Wayne, Wiz Khalifa, Imagine Dragons, Logic, Ty Dolla $ign, Ambassador, Sucker for Pain, amazing. Actually, Suicide Squad, crap. Bright.
From what I heard, it was good.
I loved Bright. People thought it was bad. The Tax Collector, real piece of shit.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't seen it.
I've seen all these movies. That's it.
So this is my thing. I know the behind the scenes things that got removed from the movie, the things got changed in the movie, and this and that. And I know for a fact that this isn't the movie that he wanted to make. This is the movie that he was forced to make. That sort of thing.
Oh, I know.
And that's my thing.
It's my joke about David Ayer because I always make it when everyone like talks about him. It's like 50-50, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, I completely get that. I do. But like for instance here, this is right. Enchantress was under the control of a mother box, and Steppenwolf was prepping an invasion with a boom tube. Had to lose that, then the Justice League story arcs evolved.
Interesting.
That right there completely changes the whole dynamic of his movie.
Yeah, because that's not what the movie was about.
Exactly. And also the other fact of like instead of it being like the weird eye goblin things, it's parademons. Diablo doesn't die in it. Fucking Will Smith never says the fucking line of, "So what are we? Some side of a Suicide Squad?"
Oh, he said it. He said it.
He said the thing. He did it. Okay.
Can you give me an honest answer?
I always try to.
No, not. And this isn't from a huge DC fan.
Okay, so
from
a non-biased fan. Okay, non-biased view. Okay, go.
How is Birds of Prey?
I thought it was good for what it's supposed to be.
Okay. All right, that's a good answer.
It's supposed to be a movie that introduces Huntress, Cassandra Cain, and
Cassandra Cain,
Black Canary It's
Okay.
a movie that introduces them. It shows you a little bit of what the other villains in the DCEU are like, with Black Mask, who arguably is one of the best villains that we've had, and
Mhm.
it shows the continued evolution of Harley Quinn.
Okay. I'm glad you explained that because I don't know any of those characters.
It's you're I think you're gonna hate it, honestly.
Mhm.
If you watch it, I think you will hate it. Um, it's one of those movies where either people like it or they don't. There is no in
I won't
between
lie to
middle
you, I
ground.
put it on one day, and I watched the first 5 minutes, and I just went, "Yeah, I don't feel like it."
If
I don't feel like it.
keep watching it, because I will tell you this.
I'll give it another
Yeah.
chance.
The Edgar McGregor, Ian McGregor, fantastic
Ewan?
job. Yep, Ewan McGregor, fantastic
Oh, he's
job.
in it? Cool.
And the actress who plays Black Canary as well, love her to death. Always have a hard time pronouncing her name. It's like Jenny Schmelet or Schmollett, or I'm sorry for butchering your name. You're fucking beautiful and I love you. But she does a great job with Black Canary.
Oh, yeah, she's from Friday Night Lights, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's actually in a really good, HBO
I
show,
love Craft Country.
yeah,
Yeah.
great show. I really love that actor in it too, the main actor.
Mhm. Okay, so let's start wrapping this up. We got three more like characters I want to hit on.
Yep,
Um,
go for it, sorry.
the Joker. Thoughts?
You know, we were just talking about how I didn't really like Suicide Squad, I really did like the portrayal of Joker.
Hmm.
Um, why
I
am I forgetting his name?
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. I literally listened to 30 Second to Mars today in the gym. Jared Leto. I liked it. I like Jared
I
Leto.
I love it too, and I've always said to people that we should stop being so harsh on him, because this is the first time that we've had a Joker who isn't the main villain, and it's the
Mhm.
supporting villain. That's never happened before. So it's tough, because people, as soon as you see Joker, you expect him to be the focal point, right?
It feels like he's like the first real, like modern
Well, that's the other
Joker.
thing. Is I liked it because it was a different version of the Joker almost. Each
Yeah.
Joker is very unique in the way that they are, and I really
Mhm.
liked his version, because his version is, it's a new level of chaotic. It's like a gangster almost,
Yeah,
right?
which is
Like
it's really cool. Like he has face tattoos,
and
knuckle tattoos.
his face tattoos, and all of his tattoos mean something. I mean, like, he has a robin with a fucking arrow through it on his arm, and the damage on his head is literally just like an insult to Batman. Like, his teeth are broken in, and he has a grill in the shape of a bat. Like, all these, like, it all means something, and that's the thing. Like, people just see it as like,
It
oh
also
yeah,
humanizes him more.
exactly. But
Uh, I like it.
I loved the scene between him and Ben, and I love the fact that Zack Snyder literally made that whole scene, because he said, as fans, we deserve to see those two characters interact, because this could be the only time it happens.
Yeah, because you actually didn't get it in Suicide Squad, huh?
We didn't. We got Bat interacting with Deadshot and Harley.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that scene between those two is fucking incredible.
It was cool.
And I don't know, have you seen the black and white version
Of that?
of that scene?
No.
So there's an alternate version of that scene, and Batman does the same line of, like, well, Harley
Oh,
Quinn
you
was
sent
dying in
it to
my,
me.
yeah,
I did watch it. I take it back.
well, yeah, the whole, like, while Harley Quinn's dying in my arms, and all this, and then it's, it's like, I'll make you that promise, and it's like like, we live in a society. He actually does that line, but then he goes on a little bit more, and then he goes, Who do you think? What was it? Who do you think? Was it cried louder, or God? How the fuck does he word it now? But it's like, he gives a line of, like, who do you think died louder, the girl or the boy? Basically saying,
Mhm.
like, between Harley Quinn, who died in your arms, and when I killed your Robin, who was louder when they died? Who do you think it
Yeah.
was? It was such a sadistic, but, like, almost
It's something about the
charming.
black and white too,
Oh
took
my
away it
god!
takes away, like, as I know it's like a serious yeah, it is a
It's
serious
just,
movie in
yeah,
a way, but it takes away the goofiness of a man wearing a bat costume and a guy wearing white face paint.
exactly. But no, I think that the whole interaction with that, and the fact that it does hit on more backstory and everything, just shows, like, just like how, like, yeah, Zach had a vision. Like, there was a full and full vision. And now that we've seen it, now it's one of those things where it's like we want more, you know. And honestly, I'll say this right now: I don't give a fuck if all the movies get released on HBO Max and not in theaters, or if they just come out as TV shows. I want more.
That'd be awesome. It's just
Okay,
again, it's from the outside, man.
of course,
This
and
is
I
from,
and I get it. My thing is that like if they did let's say the Arkham movie, right, that I was saying about the Batfleck Arkham movie with Joe Manganiello.
yeah,
If they did that as a 10 episode or 6 episode or 8 episode HBO Max only series,
different. They could do that.
I mean, it'd be just as good as a fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean that's the way things are moving now. Anyways, Disney's doing it.
Yeah,
HBO's doing it.
Disney's doing it, but it costs you $30 to watch the movie.
Well, that's the movie, but like the whole WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay, last two characters before we head out. Or move on. Steppenwolf.
No opinion.
Oh, really?
It made him.
I thought it completely changed the character from a very bland.
It made him
a very bland villain to a villain that you actually feel bad for at points.
I didn't feel bad for him at all. It made him more intimidating.
100%.
But from
go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, cut you off.
No, that's it.
So my thing is that like, of course, I think Zack does a great job of building the universes with the dialogue, right? Yeah. So like, all Steppenwolf wants to do is go home. That's literally all he wants to do is he wants to go home.
Yeah.
He wants to go home and be back to being the right-hand man of Darkseid. That's it. That's all he wants. And Desaad says something about like your great deceit or your great like something, right? Like basically like you fucked up. We know you fucked up. You know you fucked up, and we're never letting that down until you finish what you said you would do. And Steppenwolf is it's like, look, I know that I fucked up. I just want to come home. And like that's his whole thing.
Reminds me a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers.
Right, but I mean, like, I thought it was just such.
I hate to be that. It just for me, again, outsider.
Mm-hmm.
It just Thanos and Darkseid were they feel like parallel characters.
So yes, the only difference is one of them doesn't need a glove to be intimidating.
Well, he doesn't need it. He's still like the strongest being in the universe.
Thanos? No.
Yeah. He's like he's up there.
He's strong, but he's not like Darkseid strong. Like Thanos is only really strong because of the gauntlet.
He's pretty strong otherwise.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's what I'm saying though. Is that like the only reason he's a real threat is the gauntlet?
Well, no, he was already a threat before that. He was going through and destroying planets and doing his thing.
Oh yeah, of course he was. He also got his ass kicked by everybody when he didn't have a gauntlet.
He only got his ass kicked by what's her face? Wanda.
I mean, I'm just saying, there is a parallel between the two because Darkseid was made first, and then Thanos was made.
All right, my thing is that like for me, Darkseid doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, you know why he doesn't mean anything to you? Because they fucking removed him 5 years ago.
And so it did more justice for him, but they did a much better job in this movie of making me invested in the characters.
100%.
But not the other one. And I think because like I was talking to my buddy last night about the movie, I'm like, what'd you think? He was like, it was long.
It was long.
He's like, it was okay. And that was from someone who also like really likes watching movies, but that was like as far as he got with it.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that's the thing is that like people aren't invested because for how many years now have you heard that DC is a crapshoot?
Yeah, well, the thing that always made me upset was when people shit on Man of Steel, and I was like, Man of Steel's such a good movie.
It is such a good movie, but that's what I'm saying though, right? For me, it's that, but total, just everything. Because it's one of those things where it's like we've seen it now. There was a full movie that was supposed to be made, or a full universe that was fully envisioned, and Warner Brothers took it away from us. Because this is the other thing as well, right? This is 2017. So if we go, what is it? Is it Infinity War? Infinity War coming out in 2018. So
Infinity
now,
War is pretty good.
yeah, but now this is what I'm saying though. Infinity War came out in 2018. But Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out a year before it.
Do you think they should have broken this up into more than one movie?
No.
No? Okay.
No. Not at all.
Not at all? Okay.
Could you have?
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, you don't want to butcher what we got, because it's one of those things, as you said as well. The pacing of it was great and it doesn't feel like 4 hours. And you and me have talked about this before, where the common moviegoer these days are fucking idiots and it can only last for an hour while watching stuff. It feels like.
yeah, that's my big thing, is that like 2 hours for a lot of people is like a big ask.
It is, but then also those are the same people who will binge watch fucking Sex in the City or Friends or any one of the new shows for WandaVision, The Office. You know, like they sit down and binge watch it for an entire fucking day, but then they'd be like, "Oh, a 4 hour movie, I don't know, man."
No, WandaVision also was not very good.
But
hey, I just said something. Another thing from Marvel's not good.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I thought, I don't know.
Okay,
man.
so my overall the
Mhm.
villain side, not having consumed any media from those guys in the past, I didn't know much about them, and then by the end of it, I didn't know much about them other than we got to kind of be ready for them.
Yeah, so
Darkseid,
I mean,
especially.
yeah, so it's
Steppenwolf side, but
Darkseid's whole. So this is the thing, right? Thanos' whole thing is to balance the universe. Stupid fucking villain. Darkseid's thing is everything will be mine. So he's looking for the anti-life equation, which basically makes it so anyone, like, basically he can like control anyone.
Yeah.
Everyone is his slave now, like that sort of thing.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So the history lesson that they have, where he first comes to Earth as Euxis, as like a young man, in his like godly thing, right? And he gets his ass kicked by the old gods. That's him coming to Earth and finding Earth is the planet that has the anti-life equation.
Oh, that was the thing for him to be able to control people?
Yes. So that's what when they come to because of course he's just conquering random planets at this point, and he comes to Earth, he fucking hits it, and it creates the giant Omega symbol, and it's like,
found it.
Yeah, and he's found his great prize, and so Zach is actually tweeted out stuff about this, and it adds to the whole it adds a whole nother layer to everything. So he gets his ass kicked by the new gods, right? He's like kind of dying, gets put in a ship, and they fuck off back home.
Yeah.
Zach says the reason why he doesn't remember the Earth is where that is because when he got home, he had to retake control of Apocalypse because he lost. So because he lost, there was him trying to retake his throne back. And then we add in the part of Steppenwolf, like basically like turning his back on him. And it adds a whole nother level to that character, and that's why Darkseid doesn't remember the Earth is where basically the.
Okay, thanks for explaining that, because I was like, I was thinking that, I'm like, how does he not know? He was I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. The last thing you see of him is he has a fucking gaping wound in his shoulder. Which, by the way, in the future scenes, if you look at his armor, there's actually that gaping hole still there, like as a reminder.
Yeah.
But so like he's bleeding out and he's like dying almost, right? And it's one of those things that's a thing that you never would have thought of, is that like this is the first planet he failed to conquer. So when he goes back to Apocalypse, he's going back, he's injured, people are coming for his throne now. He has to retake his throne basically.
Okay.
And
why forget about the planet? Like, you just go, oh, that's a wash.
Well, because that's the thing, right? Like I'm saying, he's injured and he has to retake over his throne. At this point,
Mhm.
now his mindset is completely changed because now it's not about fucking that. It's about retaking the throne of Apocalypse, which is
Hmm.
where like his planet. So he's injured. He's barely remembering anything as it is, and then he gets home and finds out he has to retake his planet back.
But I didn't get that from the movie.
You know
Is that
what?
something that's
So that's something that Zack Snyder has said on Twitter or Vero or whichever platform it is that he uses that we probably would have found out in the second fucking Justice League movie.
okay? All right, because for me, you're saying this, and I'm like, I don't
It's
remember
adding
that.
up, and this is
Okay,
this
so
is
yeah, okay.
and this is but this is what Zack does so well though is he releases these little things, and it's like this was supposed to be in the second part. This was supposed to be what you guys were getting. Like you were going to learn about all of this stuff. Like I'm not just saying this to say it. Like this was gonna happen. You know, so like that's that though. So like for me, like I thought the villains were arguably the best we've had in a little bit because technically they won.
Did they?
Technically, if you think about it, the mother box, connected. The mother box synchronized and destroyed the planet. Flash, mind you, goes back in time and saves, then stops that, but it still went off. And as a
I don't know. I feel like they just edged it. It didn't finish.
well, yeah, of course they did. That's the same thing as Marvel announcing Spider-Man 2 and then killing Spider-Man. Um,
Yeah, that was a weird move.
but the thing
I
is,
don't know.
like my thing with it is like, especially for it being a completely redo movie, right? Like you don't know what
No,
they're
it feels
gonna
like a
do.
different movie.
Like you don't know
No.
if they're gonna actually kill him off or whatnot. Like you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. So like when it synchronizes and it first goes off, I'm sitting there and I was like, oh shit,
Did they kill Steppenwolf in the original?
no,
Okay, because I don't remember Superman cutting his head off.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. Wonder Woman cuts
all
that
right,
shit. Whoosh.
yeah.
And also, I have to say, I love the final line of the movie or the final few lines of the movie from Darkseid because it's basically been part of the thing for Restore the Snyderverse, which is him saying like, ready the Armada, we're gonna do this, the old way, like that sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
fuck it, we're just going there because like there's been a bunch of people that have put up and it's like they've changed the wording so it's like ready the hashtags, we'll do this the old way, we'll use the old ways, like that sort of thing. And I'm sitting there like, God, they really fucked up now by and just coming out and just being like, yeah, this is it, you're not getting any more. They fucked up by doing that so much. um yeah, and that's the thing though. So because I just saw it here because I have Twitter up right now. Godzilla vs Kong, the numbers are already out.
Okay.
It's been 3 weeks since Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, and we don't have numbers.
How'd Godzilla do?
It so this is the thing. They're saying that Godzilla versus Kong had all of they increased the numbers of HBO Max by this and that and this and that. Um, let's see here. Um,
Do you want to use this to segue into
yes,
Kong?
yes. Basically, they're saying that like this is the little bit of the conspiracy theorist of me. Um, but basically, all of the numbers that came from the Snyder cut and all the people that like basically bought in, and then this massive spike in the HBO Max power outages, are from Godzilla vs Kong and all Zack Snyder's just
Oh, okay.
it's
Oh,
it,
they bought. Oh, they subscribed a few weeks early for it.
that's what they're like trying to get at. It seems like.
Okay. Interesting.
Um.
Weird take.
Yeah, this is the thing. Real quick, last one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
1.5 million tweets in a single day and trending every single, and it's been on the trending page on Twitter every single day since it came out. There's no reason why not to restore the Snyderverse. There's literally no reason. The only reason why they're not going to do it is because of some stupid ego that they have.
All right, this is going to be another controversial take of mine.
Good.
For the average person, Twitter doesn't matter either.
Oh, of course.
And I don't know. That could be any. I don't know, because I don't go on Twitter. I have a Twitter, but I don't really. I go on it maybe once a week.
So my thing is this is just that if it's trending every single day, if there's 1.5 million tweets, which broke the record, and the old record was for one of the Avenger movies. I think it was Endgame. If you have this sort of demand, and it's also celebrities, like
Mhm.
you have a demand for them to do something that will make them more money, why not do it?
I don't know. It's
Well, they've
I
released T-shirts, they've released
yeah.
Funko Pops, they've released toys, they've released marketing, ads, all this different stuff. They've re-released all of this stuff for this movie, and
It
everything is sold out.
yeah.
So this is one that I talked about on Comic Relief podcast. 5 years this year for Batman vs Superman. They re-released it on 4K.
Mhm.
It's sold out at Target, Best Buy, and then was another one. I forgot what the last one was. It's sold out within a day.
All right. So
Every
this is
copy.
all right. This is going to be my thing. So like I'm really into comedy. Like I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts
Oh, boy, I
and
guess.
podcast. I don't know why I said it when I came out like that, but so there's a lot of comedians who are up and coming, and then
Mhm.
some find success, and a lot of guys nowadays, and a lot of guys and girls, they're getting to the point where they would prefer to have like a hardcore base of fans, and then instead of a broad
True.
half in, half out fan. And
Yep.
that's the thing is that like with this, I feel like it has a lot of hardcore fans, but no half in, half out fans.
Oh, of
Whereas like
course.
Marvel is almost entirely half in, half out fans, which
Yes.
that gets the money.
Well, that is true. So now this is my other thing, though. So if we're gonna just say money with hardcore fans, so 1600000. How much? Do you know how much HBO Max account is? What do you think it is? $20? $25?
I don't know. I steal it from my parents.
Yeah, I bought mine a while ago, and I don't ever check my bank account.
You're
HBO
just like,
Max price. Let's take a look here. HBO Max price. $15. So times nope, that's 15. $24 million just from the hardcore 1.5 million fans that tweeted restore the Snyderverse.
mhm.
And
Oh,
that's a month.
not every one of those has HBO Max.
We do because of the Snyderverse.
Not all of them. No, like I'm gonna bet highest number 3/4. Highest, maybe probably half.
Half? Okay,
Yeah.
so
I I know for a fact on my HBO
12
Max
million.
account, there are 6 separate people that use it.
12 million.
Okay.
That's still $12 million a month
It's
just
still
from
$12
hardcore
million.
fans.
Yeah.
If then that's taken in half, it's like I don't get it. But let's move
Ours
on.
is yeah.
Let's move on off of a
No,
topic that I'm
I
not.
don't wanna create like a rift. It's just
No,
it's
no, no, no.
really
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
yeah,
saying because I do see that side of it. My thing is
yeah.
like it's a supply demand thing, right? If people want it,
Uh-huh.
it's easy money.
Oh, I think I no, I agree with you. I think they should, but this is I'm like playing the
Devil's advocate.
but not the devil's advocate? Is that the advocate in this situation, or am I just being the asshole in this situation?
No, you're just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see it. I would watch it. I just yeah, okay. All right, move on.
Yeah. Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes. Kong, 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 Kong.
This was a movie I didn't think I needed. By needed, I mean not needed to watch, but just like I watched it and I was like, huh, I never actually thought I needed to see this happen.
Did you feel that way at the end?
To an extent.
Okay.
To an extent.
All right.
There were certain things that I was like, I don't, nope, don't agree with
Did
that.
you need Millie Bobby Brown side plot?
I liked it because it added more. It added and this is one of the things that me and Rob were actually talking about. Funnily enough, we actually had a really good discussion about this. It added to the human side of it because you have the little girl, and the guy for Kong, and then you had Millie Bobby Brown, the conspiracist theory, and the fat kid from Deadpool
Yep.
for Godzilla. So it felt like both sides kind of had their own human element, along with both sides having the monster element. It's weird seeing Millie Bobby Brown growing up.
I also think okay, continue, and then I'm going into my tangent.
I liked the comic relief aspects of them.
Yep.
Because it felt, especially for the conspiracy theory guy, because it felt very like genuine for a guy that's a conspiracy theory guy, you know.
Brian Tyree's a great actor.
Yes, there we go. Thank you for the name.
Amazing in Atlanta, and that's like the huge that show was awesome.
I anytime he was on the screen, I loved it. I immediately was like smiling.
Yeah,
there was a lot of scenes when the monsters were on there, and I was like, I don't believe that. False. Overall, I wish there was a different ending as well. That's the other thing I'll say.
Oh, I liked the ending.
I thought
that's the part that I was like, okay, I can live with that.
My thing is this: they said from the very beginning that it wasn't going to be a Batman versus Superman, a Freddy versus Krueger, where there's no actual real winner. And at the end of the movie, me and Jagger have talked about this, and at the end of the movie, I felt like there was not a real winner. I felt like at the end of the movie,
they respected each other.
Yeah, it was just
okay. We can both exist.
Well, so the way that Jagger put it, and it makes sense, is he said that Kong gets to be king of the Hollow Earth, and Godzilla gets to be king of Earth.
Yeah.
So therefore, they're both kings, like that sort of thing. And I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, they had that conversation, and we're like, yeah, you go down there.
Yeah, I didn't know. No, I don't buy it.
All right, my thing is,
yep.
Millie Bobby Brown should be in prison. Cause that fucking bitch killed millions of people with her mom, and she could just go to school.
Oh, in the first one, yeah.
School.
Oh, in the second one, sorry, yeah, in the second one.
Yeah, second one. Yeah. She could just be free.
Yeah.
She can't. Why?
Because her dad's now in the military, bro. Like, she can just get away with all this shit.
Yeah, but like, she was at least put away for conspiracy. She was old enough to know that she was killing thousands of people. They were trying to eat. Like, bro, I'm like staring. I'm like, why is she? I saw a trailer and she's just driving around in this van, and I'm like, bro. And I've looked up this online. No one else had can't find this opinion. Like, she killed thousands of people with her mom and dude from Game of Thrones. I don't know. I'm like, how probably millions of people are dead because of her.
I mean,
her.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm sorry.
I never thought of that. You know what? This is one of those ones. I'll make sure to tell you when they're going live for the podcast, and you can bring it up to them when they're talking about it. Because Jagger will have an answer to that. But yeah, no, they're like,
she's a child. No,
like I just like the fight scene in the ocean between Godzilla and Kong.
The very first meeting.
Yeah, and Kong's like playing dead or whatever. And I said this to Jagger. I was like, if Kong's an alpha predator, you don't stop the fight until you know they're dead. Playing dead doesn't count. Like, he's sitting there looking over at Kong playing dead, and he immediately starts going and laser beams that bitch.
Well, that's a great point, because when Kong's in the Hollow Earth, he rips the bug's head off and eats it. Like,
yeah, like I'm. Like, there was that. The other thing was the fact that Kong goes down to Hollow Earth, gets the axe and puts the axe on the ground, and it all starts glowing or whatever, right? And Godzilla just somehow knows about that and just stops what he's doing, and he's just like, hold up a sec, bah! And just shoots down to the middle of Hollow Earth. You're telling me that there's no consequences from doing that?
Yeah, that's wild. Oh, and seemingly Kong climbed up that hole, and however, it just was like one scene he was down there, next scene he was at the surface.
Like
okay,
I said, I liked it. I liked the movie. I thought it was really good. There was those were some of the things that I was like,
I feel like they wasted Alexander Skarsgård, who's one of my favorite actors.
Yes. I thought it was weird. He had a weird accent. I didn't like his accent in this one.
Yeah, well, it's the whole just being Norwegian thing or
I
whatever he
let
is.
him have his Norwegian accent instead of whatever the fuck he was doing in this movie. Like,
Well, he's Swedish, and sorry, and I think that sometimes his American accents are weird, and I don't think Americans can do Southern accents.
fair enough. I mean, like I
I
said, I
mean,
just there was
Florida's.
something about his accent that just I didn't. Mm.
Yeah, it was weird. Um, you know what I did today? I actually rewatched the first one. I watched it like 2 months ago, but I rewatched the first one.
Godzilla or Kong?
Godzilla.
Okay.
Just Godzilla with Bryan Cranston.
I said recently to someone that I feel like that movie's more like horror movie than anything. The way that they portray Godzilla in it.
Well, so this is what I wanted to get into. In that one, he is an entity that you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
You're just at a whim of what he decides to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Aaron Taylor Johnson did, in a sense, like save the world, saved Godzilla, saved everyone else. Like he should be getting a Medal of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Lieutenant Brody. And then in the second one, it's like a supervillain movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
the whole tone of it changes. Like control monsters to like basically Thanos the world, and then the third one, Millie Bobby Brown's back, that murderer of millions of people, and now, okay, actually, we didn't even mention Mecha Godzilla,
Yeah,
which was pretty tight.
it was pretty cool. I mean,
It was pretty cool.
there's one thing that I've seen online, and ever since I've seen it now, I can't unsee it.
Mhm.
And I guess it was in Ready Player One. They have a Mecha Godzilla in there,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
there's people saying that they should have used that design. And then when you go online and look at it, it's one of those things that's like, ooh, shit. Like maybe they should have used that design, like that sort of thing.
Why does he look like more like a Gundam?
Well, it looks like. I wonder if I can find it real quick.
I'm looking it up. Yeah, he looks more like a Zoid.
There's just something about it. I don't know what it is. It looks.
He looks silly at times with like all the red things flashing on him. There's a lot of stuff that it's could easily break off of him.
I think that they should have. I mean, mind you, I don't know what they could have done for another villain.
Yeah.
But I think that they should have done another villain, and because I feel like I feel like that plot of Mechagodzilla came out of fucking nowhere for the movie.
Do you feel like Apex was a villain?
No, I honestly like. As soon as they showed it, I was like, "Hey, look, it's Apex, Apex Legends."
Yeah.
But no, like I kind of like I didn't really feel a whole lot of fucking anything for him to be 100% honest with you.
They honestly felt neutral. Like they were like almost like it was weird that they were trying to kill Godzilla because Godzilla wasn't doing anything. But I get like I don't know the way that they portrayed the main guy for Apex. He just wasn't. He like his intentions felt pure.
I just
He
felt
just went like a weird way about it.
I just feel like that there was like a whole like I almost felt like I was like I missed a movie. That's the best way to put it. I felt like I missed something.
That's a good way. Oh, great way to put it. They're like there's this whole established Apex network. You know all the like I went back and watched the ending to
King of Monsters.
King of Monsters, and there were a bunch of Titans left. And what happened to those Titans? They just go back to sleep? What happened?
Like I said, I feel like that. I feel like if they were going to use Mechagodzilla, they should have. In my opinion, they should have had a different villain for Godzilla versus Kong that sets up, and then in Godzilla versus Kong, they set up more of Mechagodzilla, and Mechagodzilla is like Godzilla 3.
Okay.
That's the way that I felt, honestly.
I just want to know where Aaron Taylor Johnson is.
Me too. I love him. I think that he should be in the DC universe because I love him and I don't want him to die in his first fucking movie.
Yeah. Well, he didn't die in Godzilla.
No, I'm talking about in Age of Ultron. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that movie is shit.
Yeah.
So,
but no, I love him.
Did you see Skull Island?
I haven't seen it, but I've seen a ton of clips.
Okay.
You know, like the channels that have like 10 out of 10 clips.
Yeah. 1 out 110. Yeah. I liked it a lot actually. I thought it was at times silly, but not because it was dumb.
It looked. I
It
mean,
was
it looks like it was one of those ones where it looked like kind of the way that they're setting they set up the this monster universe. Like there's silly aspects to it, but of course we're talking about giant fucking monsters, so no shit. There's silly aspects to it, like that sort of thing. And there's a lot of just there's some heartfelt moments, and then there's a lot of really cool moments.
I mean, fucking Samuel L. Jackson's in it. John C.
Exactly.
Riley's in it.
I was gonna say, yeah, John C. Riley's in it, and he has a fucking katana at one point. Like,
He actually is a very. Have you ever seen him in a serious role?
oh, he's fucking. I think he's a very underrated actor.
Did you see? Have you seen Gangs of New York?
Yes.
He's great in Gangs of New York. I guess Brie Larson was in this.
Yes, Brie Larson was in it. Like, it goes to show you how much you like the role really carries on for you.
Way.
Um,
I did see it. And I enjoyed it. I don't know. I like Tom Hiddleston in it. Oh, look at that. It's the Brie Larson shooting a flare gun. That's definitely in that movie.
oh yeah,
Uh,
she's definitely there. Huh.
so I don't know. So the three movies had very well from the first movie to the second movie was a huge change in tone, and then how they viewed Godzilla
Mhm.
and how Godzilla was he was an animal. He was
I-
something we feared, and then in King of the Monsters he wasn't.
yeah, they kind of neutered him with the introduction of Ghidorah. Almost, it felt like.
they're like whatever, like it's like we don't really have to worry about him.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, Godzilla was versus Kong. I don't know. It's like we went from this first movie where he's this thing that like we tried to blow up in the 50s with nukes, and that's what started the race to
I like I
build nukes.
I feel like they have a very broad kind of like, universe set up where it's like, okay, if the studio won't let us do this, at least we can do this. If they won't let us do that, then we can do this. And if they won't let us do that, then we can do like that sort of thing. Because like you said, the tone changes so drastically between the
You ever
three.
see Pacific Rim?
Yes,
So I feel
loved the
like
original, hated the second.
I rewatched the second a couple weeks ago. Actually,
Hmm.
I watched them both because fucking nothing else going on.
Yeah,
And then
fair enough.
uh, I didn't like the second one when I originally saw it. I liked
Hmm.
it the second watch there.
Okay, maybe I'll have to rewatch it then.
Um,
But I'm also
it's not as good as the first. Actually,
I I love
I switched. I didn't think the first was as good. It didn't
I
hold up as well.
I like Charlie Hunnam, so no matter what he's
Oh,
in,
big fan.
I just watched King Arthur.
Oh yeah. Well, it's also Guy Ritchie, so
Yeah,
it's like
Guy,
so. My thing with that is that they turned Godzilla from what it was into Pacific Rim with Godzilla,
fair enough. I can see
and
that.
that's the vibe, the art
I
style, the fighting.
I will
Where
say
they're always fighting in a goddamn city. It's not like why
as
can't
soon
you
as
fight on like the Godbound Mountain?
as soon
Like
as
you
they
got to
said
fight in the middle of Hong Kong.
as soon as they said Hong Kong in the beginning of the movie, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
we're
good.
gonna
Rest in
fuck
peace,
that
Hong
shit
Kong.
up.
Yeah, like we can't fight like the first they fought in the ocean, cool. Like they did it. But
Mm,
like then they fought in Hong Kong, like they destroyed San Francisco in the first one, but that was a little different.
yeah, they destroyed
Um
everything in the second one.
yeah, so like that my thing is like
I
can't you just go fight in like Maine or something? I don't know.
The one thing that I was saying, I said this to Jagger. I loved aggro Godzilla though. The super aggressive Godzilla that's just like, yeah, no, I'm not letting any more fucking Titans take over or
Yeah.
anything like that. I fucking loved it. Just the way that I felt like Godzilla felt powerful in this movie. Where in the other ones, he kind of felt like he was kind of powerful. This one, he just felt aggressive and powerful the entire time. And I loved it.
Yeah, he was aggro for sure.
I fucking loved it. Um, and also the other thing is like I've always been a fan of Godzilla. I've never been really a fan of Kong. So
I don't think there's no world where they're on par with each other.
no chance.
Yeah, and
The way that I said it online to John at one point was I said Godzilla has a charge rifle and Kong has Bloodhound's heirloom. That's the fight.
okay. He looks. It doesn't even.
It
There's no contest.
yeah, it's yeah no. Team Godzilla all the way. But you know, like I said though, my thing with it is it felt like I was missing something the entire time. It felt like there should have been
Great way to put it. Yeah,
another
why isn't
movie.
Millie Bobby Brown in prison?
That maybe that's the movie.
Oh.
But
I
no, like
interrupted you. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, you're fine. Like I said though, that was my big takeaway out of the whole thing was I felt like they rushed to get this out. They
Mhm.
rushed to do Godzilla versus Kong, and I felt like there should have been another movie because, like we just said, they have a whole brand new evil empire that just shows up, and no one knows what it is, or at least that's how it
Yeah.
felt.
Well, because there's no more Monarch. I guess someone had to take their place in a sense.
True.
But where's Doctor Ishiro Seruza by Ken
Oh, he
Watanabe?
kills himself
He killed himself?
in the second one. He goes down to
Oh,
Godzilla and sets off the nuke. Remember, to wake
no, I
Godzilla
don't
back
remember.
up.
That movie fucking sucked.
Yeah, no, in the second one, he goes down. He goes down into like Godzilla's lair with a nuke
Yeah.
and like sets it off to like
I
wake.
tried to watch it maybe a month ago.
Mm,
I saw it on HBO Max. I was like, oh, I'll give it another try, you know? Because I saw it in theaters, and then I was like, this movie is not great. So I gave it another try. Sometimes, because that's what Pacific Rim, like the second one. I just started watching. I think I got an hour in,
mm.
and I got mad at Millie Bobby Brown. I was like, I was like, I don't remember her being. She was in on the plan to kill all the scientists and release these other Titans. You're like, she's complicit with the plan. She helps them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like feeling bad for this girl, dude. I was like, she killed millions of people. Obviously, like Tony, the mom and like everyone else, like yeah, be upset with, which everyone is. But you can't be upset with this 15-year-old girl.
True. True.
I'm sorry, I'm not giving up on this. It blows my
Well,
mind.
no, I really want you to go into comic relief, this podcast, and just nonstop in the chat with it because I want to know now that you said that. And also, I wanted to bring up to Jagger, like how come, like it, like I said, it just felt like that we were missing a movie.
That's a much better point than mine. Mine feels more personal. No, it doesn't, because she killed millions of people. Like,
Uh, I mean, no, I mean, so okay, so overall, did you think it was a good movie?
give
Godzilla
it a
vs
6
Kong.
out of 10.
I think it was. I think it was
And a half.
I think it was a better kaiju movie. I think it was one of the better kaiju movies that we have.
For sure. It was. If that was the thing, is it did feel like we were missing something, but I liked it better than the second one.
Yeah, it felt like we were missing something, but I felt like the monster fight scenes were better.
I did like the Millie Bobby Brown side story.
Mm-hmm.
Could have done it with someone else, because I don't know.
I did like the tap water. No, good. What? They put the stuff in it to make to make you easier to control. Oh, I drink tap
Bleach.
water. I drink tap water. We can tell. Like there was so like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm okay with humor, and I know like I'm gonna harp on the MCU stuff because I hate the forced humor in that. I love humor and I love laughing, but I love it when it's little shit like that because like that's something like a conspiracy theorist would say, like a true conspiracy theory, like yeah, it's
Oh
like
yeah, like
like yeah,
he's a big Q guy.
yeah, like it's like yeah, I wash myself with bleach every day, gets off off this, like just the little shit like that was like it was so
And the kid from New Zealand's like, what?
He's I feel bad for that kid because he's forever to me gonna be just the fat kid from Deadpool 2.
Well, for me, he's the fat kid from Hunt for the Wilder People.
I have no idea what you just said to me, but I feel intact.
So it's Taika Waititi.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
What'd you call me? He directed Thor 3,
Oh, okay.
and he directed What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay.
Did you see that one?
Nope.
Oh my god! All right. So What We Do in the Shadows is it's a mockumentary style movie about vampires living in modern New Zealand. And there's actually an FX show they just adapted last year or the year before, and it's really popular. But it's about like these three vampires, and they're all from different time periods, and one of them is literally Vlad the Impaler,
Oh, that's
but they're
funny.
all still dressed the same way,
Oh,
and
it's
they're roommates, and like they're trying
that
to
actually
survive.
sounds
Like,
really good.
and
That sounds like a fun fucking.
it's very it's like it's you. Please watch it because
Okay.
you will come out of it and be
Send
like, this is amazing.
send me the link to it and everything, or like
Yes, I do.
that sort of thing, and I'll. But no, that sounds fucking great. But yeah, no,
And
like
then
I.
he made a movie called Hunt for the Wilder People, another New Zealand movie. Um, and did you see Thor 3?
Unfortunately, yes.
So you know the rock guy that was like, "Oh, hey man,
Yes.
how's it going?" That's actually the director.
I know it is.
um,
I fucking hate that movie.
yeah, well, it's too funny.
It's
So
not
Hunt for
even
the
that.
Wilder, I know.
It's just
That's
so.
that's in my top 3.
They electrocute the god of fucking thunder, bro, and I can't. I fucking can't. It's the same thing as like Catwoman having allergies to cats, or the Flash getting motion sickness. Like I fucking
I know a
can't.
girl that's allergic to her own sweat.
Well, yeah, I mean that sucks, but I mean like I can't. I fucking.
So Hunt for the Wilder People is about this kid who like uh he's a, he has no parents and he gets adopted,
Okay.
and then he gets like he's being fostered by these by Sam Neill and his wife, and then the wife dies and they go live in the woods because they both are like fuck the world.
Okay.
It's very good.
Yep.
It's very cute. I cried in the first 20 minutes.
Aw, didn't know.
He makes very solid movies.
Okay. Fair enough.
I guess
I will
the
try
worst.
to I will try to
Watch you at least watch the vampire one.
the vampire one. I'm
Uh,
definitely going to because that sounds hilarious.
yeah,
But all right. So now let's wrap this up then.
Invincible.
In fucking Invincible. The easiest way to explain this for everyone out there that doesn't know is on Amazon Prime. It's only on Amazon Prime, right?
I believe so. I think it's an Amazon Prime exclusive.
It's a comic book series. I don't know who makes the comic book series though. I think it might be like what is it? Black Horse? Is that it? Image. Wait, who owns Image? Does DC own Image? Wait a minute. Maybe.
Um, first episode for nope. It premiered in 2002. It is. No, no, I don't. Yeah, I didn't know it was that old. I thought it was like in the last 10 years. So I mean, it's 20 years old at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Okay, so it looks like Image Comics is literally just by itself. Holy shit! I thought Image was like a subsidiary of like DC.
Interesting. It's the third largest comic book and graphic novel publisher.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, if it's it's Spawn, Walking Dead, Witchblade. Never mind.
Oh, it did that. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense then.
Now it'll make sense. Now it makes sense. Yeah, it's right. It's right behind Marvel and DC. Um, so
Who's bigger, Marvel or DC?
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna say DC just because we haven't tried to make stupid fucking social norms into our comic books. That's the only reason I'm gonna say that.
All right, that's fair.
Um,
I feel like it would be bigger.
I mean,
I
it
feel
could
like it
be.
would.
We actually give a shit about our comic books.
Though I mean, the last comic book I read was about a war in New York City, so
Yeah,
it's nothing to do with that kind of thing.
yeah, I'll send you the link to Deceased, and if you buy that, you'll fucking love it.
What is it?
It's called Deceased, like deceased, but it's
Oh, okay.
DC, and then yeah, basically it's about like a virus that takes over, a virus that starts and it takes over, but it doesn't actually like kill the people. The people can like still be like cured and they're normal people, but like it takes over like super fast, and like a bunch of the mainstay DC characters die from it.
Mm-hmm.
So like Batman dies, Superman dies, Wonder Woman dies, or they all get turned, and Black Canary becomes a Green Lantern, and it's a really fucking good book. There's a lot of really heartfelt moments in it, like this one where Alfred has a shotgun and like infected like Batman is coming after Alfred.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a really good read. I think you would actually really enjoy it. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about Invincible. Um, easiest way to explain this. This is the way that I'm going to explain it, and then I'll let
Go
you.
off, King.
It is The Boys, but an animated version.
Accurate.
It's ultra violent. It's adult. It's for adults. Ultra violent, and it's kind of cool because it's a little bit of like a human mixed with like an alien race, but he's also a teenager, and he's
It's
awkward.
it's The Boys if the main characters weren't idiots.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, there we go. Well, you just
they were, but they're actually like most of the superheroes have the right intentions.
I love
We'll get into it.
yeah, I love so it just came out. Episode 4 just happened. Like it's a weekly thing. It's every Friday, and I keep forgetting this every Friday. First thing I want to say is the cast.
Oh, it's unreal.
Oh my god! Like
yes, Stephen Yeun, Sandra Oh, J.K. Simmons, Zazie Beetz. I don't know if that's how you say her first name.
I think it is.
Walton Goggins, Julian Jacobs, Jason Mantzoukas. I saw Jason Mantzoukas once and I blew him a kissy face. I was at a taco store in Portland, Maine. Chris Diamantopoulos, very Greek. I don't know if did you ever see makes me laugh seeing him. Did you ever see Silicon Valley?
No.
Oh, okay. He was very funny. Zachary Quinto from Heroes. Mark Hamill, Seth Rogen, Mahershala Ali, Mai Whitman, John Hamm.
It's unreal just looking at the names.
Lauren Cohen. Yeah, like Ezra Miller.
I can't
Lenny James.
I can't ever say his name, but Dejani Huanso.
Yeah, the underwear model from France.
He's also the elder in Shazam, and he's the which kingdom is he from? From Aquaman, and he's also in Captain Marvel, and he's also in the fighting movie Fight Back or something
Never
like that.
Back Down.
There we go. Never Back Down. That guy. Love him.
Oh, I knew what you were talking about, bro. That's a great movie. It's not good, but I love it.
No, you take that. It's a great movie.
Oh,
that is
okay,
a
I'm
universally
sorry.
that is a universal great movie that everyone hates.
No one actually hates it.
No one actually.
It's like Stomp the Yard.
Exactly. Or Drumline, which I recently rewatched.
What, did it hold up?
Not really.
Yeah,
because the whole time that I was watching it, while I'm sitting there, all I'm thinking the whole time is just, God, this guy, God, Nick Cannon's a douchebag.
Yeah, well, I mean, God, this. I think he made up for a little bit. Julian Edelman took him to.
That's fine.
Where did he take him? He took him to Auschwitz.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Still not a fan.
Okay.
But okay, so let's get into Invincible.
Invincible.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how, like, because of course this is the first thoughts, right? For the
first thoughts.
Like I said, my first thoughts were it was The Boys, but animated. Like this was like I love the DC animated universe that they've done at times because it feels like it's for adults as well. And this very much felt like it was like they made this specifically just for adults. Like this is for our generation.
Oh yeah, first episode, I didn't know the kind of tone they were going with.
Oh my, the ending.
Until the ending, and once the ending happened, I was like, yeah, okay, because it was like I thought it was gonna be kind of cute, kind of for adults. But then when that happened, I was like, oh.
Yeah, when the ending happened, I remember like I started watching. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I wonder if he's like testing them. You know, like he's like coming in like, hey, I should be a part of this, so I'm gonna like test you all. And then as soon as he kills the first person, then I was like, oh, this isn't a test. And
I loved going in. Oh, go ahead.
No, it was the same thing. Just like as it just goes on and on and on of him just murdering the Guardians of the Globe. I'm just like, oh my god.
And I love the going into that scene. It established all these characters and everything they're doing to help the planet and their personal like. relationships with the people in their lives, and
Alright,
they
like,
the next scene, they're getting their heads crushed.
like, the show does such a great, like, job of just, like, completely keeping you on your toes the entire time. Because like, you never really know what the fuck's going on at any point. Like, you see, like, I think it was in the second episode, Omni-Man goes into the other, alien's planet there or whatever, right?
Yeah,
And you're sitting there like, "Oh, shit, what's gonna happen here?" And then he's like, "Earth is mine to conquer," or something like that, and then he just kills an entire fucking planet.
but I love how the mom was like, "He's just gonna go talk to him."
Oh,
See,
yeah. He'll be back in a couple hours, that's all. Like,
yeah,
um
it's so it. All right,
if you haven't seen it out there and you're watching this right now, this is probably only gonna last another 15 minutes. Immediately go and watch Invincible.
go watch.
Immediately.
Yeah, yeah, and then what do you think of the animation style?
I think it's good. I think it's actually a really good animation style because that's one of the things that I actually um really enjoy with like cartoons and animation because I used to draw and I really respect the art of doing it. And I
Yeah,
think
because
that the animation looks really good.
it looks like something that is 40 years old at times.
Yes.
Like they purposely like do things not as well as they could.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a choice as well because like I think
Yeah.
that sometimes that adds another element to it.
I saw a meme about it online. At one point, they have like Mark Invincible flying through the sky, and they
Mm-hmm.
like they literally it's basically like they cut out a picture of the body from behind and just pushed it through the sky, almost like something like you'd see in early anime.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look the best, but I think it fits the tone of everything they're doing in the show. And it's an artistic style, and everyone's like shitting on it. They're like, "This fucking show." I don't know. I really liked
I
what I like
I
that direction.
Yeah, I was about to say like I can't be like this fucking show with this. Like like when I say it's like bro, this fucking show. You know, it's more that than
Yeah.
anything. I love the characters in it because they all feel unique. Like you can
Oh,
almost feel like each one of the characters they have, like it felt like Darkwing. You immediately see it, it's like that's fucking Batman. You know, War Woman,
mhm.
Wonder Woman. You know, like you see all these and you're like immediately connecting them to stuff. But then like out of nowhere you get like Atom Eve or
Yeah, and then you get
Explode, and it's like what the.
Jason Mantzoukas, who's like a psycho, which is it's very Jason Mantzoukas, but it's
Mhm.
perfect.
You know,
And
and it's
then
like what's the other one? What's the other? I'm trying to find it on here right now.
Robot.
Black Samson is fucking cool. I do like Black Samson because he's. If you keep doing this, I'm gonna kick your ass and you're gonna call me daddy, something like that. It's like, whoa.
Oh, hey, from episode 4, do you think Robot is double crossing everyone?
I don't think Robot's double crossing everyone. I think that Cecil and Robot are working together to create like a evil league to take down Omni Man because he knows Omni Man
Do you think all right, so
is
do you
bad.
think Omni-Man's evil?
I think
I wanna hear you. I have a point, so go
I
ahead.
think Omni Man was so because he says like the Viltrumites are sent to different planets to whatever, right?
Mhm.
I think that they're sent to planets to conquer those planets.
Kinda what I'm thinking too.
So almost like the reverse of what the Guardians are. The Guardians have different sectors that they protect. Instead of protecting, it's just he's going to rule it. Like this is my planet, like that sort of thing. And I think that's what it is. And I think the fact that he has a wife and a kid is kind of making it a moral gray zone almost for him at points.
Uh-huh. So my thing that came with that is that I I think it has something else to do with it. Similar, but because
Yeah.
he was also when Mark got his powers, he like Omni-Man like had a meltdown and this and that, and then that's when he decided to kill the Justice. I can't why you always forget the name.
The Guardians of the Globe.
Guardians of the Globe, the GGs. GGs boys.
GG's
So,
boys.
um my thing is it has to do with something with that because I think he might I don't know. We don't know it. It's like how the wife was like, "I know nothing about your planet."
Hmm.
There's a whole thing where he didn't do this until his son got powers. Like, there's this whole time he's been there, this whole time he's never hurt any of them, he's always
True. I
helped
actually
them.
didn't think about that part.
So, like, I think, like, when he
So
flipped
yeah,
out, he's like,
why now?
"Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, why your son got
Hmm.
powers, why are you doing this now? Like, is there something that, like, eventually you're gonna have to fight your own son, and that's what you're preparing for? Why have we never heard of this other race? Like, why don't you talk about the planet?"
Oh shit! I wonder if that's it. Now that you just said that, because if he's sent to the planet to conquer it, right? And we've seen
Yeah.
him basically just going through, like he's now killed the Guardians.
Mhm.
What if that's his whole thing? Is he has to be the only Guardian. So now that his son has powers, now he kind of needs to like get his shit together and finally do what he was sent there to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and so that
And
it's
that's the tipping point.
oh, yeah.
Like,
It's I don't it's a theory, but I have nothing to go on, and I don't know where it's going, but I just there's something about everything around that where
yeah, it's
it has
very
to him getting powers and him killing the GGs. It's just
it's
there's
weird.
something there's intertwined, and I'm like the demon detective. I'm trying to figure it out. I can't smell it, but I know there's something there.
Yeah, now that you say it like that, though, it does make sense, and now that is kind of monkeying with me because now, yeah. Also the demon guy I fucking love, by the way.
I thought it was very funny, and then they sent him back to hell.
Yeah,
They
I was so
literally like
mad
made a
about that.
pentagram.
I was like starting to fucking like him, and then they fucking sent him
Oh,
back.
he'll come
Yeah,
back.
the Damien Darkblood, and that's the other thing as well. Is I love the names of the show because
The names are good.
they feel very unique, but they also feel like they are honoring almost different things.
Except for Alan the Alien. I love that.
Alan the Alien is the funniest
I
fucking.
was like, "Yeah, that's Seth Rogen. That's not even like."
I'm here
He's like,
for
"Oh, bro, you didn't know? Oh, I'm
yeah,
like testing the planet."
yeah.
He's like, "This is whatever
Yeah, this is
planet it is."
this is Earth, right? What?
No, it says Earth,
This
dude.
is
He's like,
Earth.
"Ooh."
My bad. Um, there's not been a negative thing I can think of with the show yet. To be honest with you,
So, my thing too is that, like, what race are they again?
the
Uh,
Viltrumites.
Viltrumites. When they went to Mars, they were all aware of the Mars race, and then Mars was aware of other races, but they didn't know who the Viltrumites were,
Hmm.
and that seemed interesting.
It like I said, it's cool because it feels like there's a lore there that we don't know that we're slowly learning. Because it
Mhm.
feels like every episode we're learning something new, and I
But
like that.
I have actually have a buddy who read the comics.
Oh, so he already knows.
So but he says he's like, "They're doing things differently, and I don't like it." And I'm like, "Shut up.
I mean, I
Don't
can
tell me."
I can kind of understand that a little bit.
Yeah, because he did the same thing with the boys.
Yeah, the
He
boys
was
changed a lot.
very unhappy with the
Yeah,
boys.
the boys changed quite a bit from what I've
Um,
heard. Um, I still want to buy
yeah,
the
but
books, but
I mean, either way, I think you'll enjoy
yeah,
both
exactly.
of them.
Um, I think that, and it's created by Robert Kirkman, who's the same guy that did all the Walking Dead stuff. So I mean, it's already got a great that the backstory and the storytelling is going to be on point. The only
Mhm.
difference is that it's not exciting for the first 10 minutes, then 40 minutes of bullshit, and then exciting for the final 10 minutes.
What did you think in the first episode? It did like the mid-credit roll and then was like, "Psych," and we were just doing the rest of the episode. That
Bro, little shit like that, I fucking love. I love
okay?
little
Because
shit
I
like
was like,
that.
did I imagine this happening? Did I have like a fever
Well,
dream in the middle
it's
of
like
this episode?
anytime they do the title card, I fucking love it.
I love it where he's like introducing himself or saying
Yeah,
something,
it's
and
like
it's just each
it's
time there's more blood.
yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing with like the Edgar Wright transitions. I've like said that
Oh,
multiple times. I
yeah,
love Edgar Wright's
perfect. Yeah,
transitions.
yep.
Overall though, like I said, I haven't found something that I've been like, I don't like that.
It caught me completely out of left field because I think I texted you the day I watched it, and I was like, "You need to check this out."
Yeah, I think you told me that, and then I think I immediately then sent a message to Xander and Jagger, and we're asking them like, "Hey, have you seen this?" And they both like, "But no, but like I've been wanting to, like that sort of thing." And then I think
Yeah.
I watched the trailer for it, and I
Mhm.
was like, "Okay, let me check this out."
Yeah, because it's the
And
first thing I
immediately,
watched the
I
first
was
episode,
hooked.
and I was like, I need to text Husky." So I
Mm,
was like, "Gee," like, I watched it, and I was like, because it's like that first once the GGs died, I was like, "Oh, I'm in." And I was like, "Oh, there's 2 more episodes?" watching it.
Exactly. It kind like the first episode really does a good job of like kind of like teasing you throughout the entire episode, and then the very end just going full bore.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and I'm so happy that they released. Did they release 3 or just are we that behind?
Let me see here. No, they released 3 to start. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because I think I watched it like the day or the day
Yeah,
after it came
March
out.
26th, all 3 of them, and then
Okay,
April
yeah. So
2nd.
I love when a show does that because
It gets
like
you invested.
especially with that episode, I'm like, dude, I gotta wait till next week, but I'm also not. I'm invested, but I'm also like
Hmm.
not invested.
I think that there's certain ways of doing it too, because I feel like Invincible did it in the right way, because like the first episode, like I said, it kind of just slowly lulls you a little bit, and then the final it hits, and that's what makes you want to watch the next one. Where like some other shows, like for instance, like Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol came out just one episode at a time, but the first episode immediately hooks you because of the characters.
Yeah,
Um, so like I said,
I never finished it, but I thought I like am on the second season.
the second season, it's one of those things. Like it's Doom Patrol is one of those slow watches. It's one of those ones where you have to be wanting to watch, like actually watch. It can't just be a background noise thing.
And his whole daughter thing was kind of making me
It's
uncomfortable.
weird.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, season 2 is kind of weird. Um,
Last episode I saw is when the daughter killed air quotes the girl with multiple personalities,
oh Jane,
Jane,
yeah,
and then I haven't watched it since. But I was like,
it's one of those things. It's been, I mean, I'm so far behind on my shows, man. I haven't watched a single one of the DC Arrowverse shows.
oh, okay. Then there's a whole new season of The Flash that just started too, right?
Flash, Black Lightning, Superman and Lois, final season of Supergirl. I just,
Superman Lois is taking a break.
yeah, I know. It's because Supergirl's out. But like I just haven't wanted to watch any of them.
Hmm. I heard there was something with the production, and that's why Supergirl got moved up.
Yeah, it's the final season, and
So I
I
mean, I
don't.
think Superman and Lois comes back in
Yeah,
May.
it comes back at some point. I remember hearing
I
that.
was really enjoying it though.
I've heard this really good things about it. So,
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
I like I said, I haven't watched any of them. I haven't watched any
Oh,
of the
okay.
Arrowverse stuff because ever since Arrow died, everything has kind of slowly went downhill.
Wait, he died?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't finish. You know what it is? I was on the last season, and then there was like 6 episodes left. I have this weird thing about finishing anxiety, where I just want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
I'm all set.
So in Crisis on Infinite Earths, they kill him in the very first episode. At the end of the very first episode, and then they bring him back to life using a Lazarus pit, one of the last Lazarus pits on a random planet.
Oh, not
Um,
even Earth.
no, like they have to like because the whole thing is the fact of like so Crisis on Infinite Earths, basically united the entire DC. Everything DC has ever done is in the multiverse now. Um, and so they go to Constantine, and Constantine like does his magic stuff, and he's like, "Shit! Like all the planets are dying, like slowly one by one." He's like, "So we got to move fast if we want to get his soul back, like that sort of thing." And they go and find Lucifer.
From the
Yep,
Netflix show?
yep,
That Lucifer?
yep,
Same one?
yep.
Okay.
They go and find him, and they go and get Oliver back. But as soon as they go to get Oliver back, I don't think it's the Phantom Stranger that shows up. I'm not sure who it is that shows up now that I say
It's a
that.
hand job.
Um, zombie hand job. But no, someone shows up and it's like, look, you need to be like, we have a higher calling for you, sort of thing. And Oliver becomes the Spectre.
Neat.
Yeah, who's one of like the strongest power characters in the entire
Okay.
DC. Like,
Yeah, I didn't know who it was.
yeah,
Did you ever watch Lucifer?
yes, love it,
Okay, same.
love it. Huge fan of it. I haven't watched
Uh,
it recently because the person that I work with still won't put her fucking information into the TV in the gym.
oh.
Yep. Because she keeps forgetting and she doesn't know how to do those sort of things. So can I just do it for her? But I need to remind her to bring in all the information because she doesn't remember it. Because she doesn't remember it, that means I can't watch the shows because I don't have Netflix.
Sounds like a you problem.
Oh, it's just such a fucking annoying problem. But
Lucifer is really good.
Lucifer is really good.
Walker, they remade Walker, Texas Ranger. That's on CW right now
Yeah, with the supernatural guy, right?
with Jared Padalecki.
Mhm. Yep,
Um,
I stand by my statement. The supernatural guy.
well, no, there's two supernatural
Nope,
guys.
there's the super. Nope, there's the
Jared
super.
Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. Put some respect on the name.
Yeah, no. There's Jensen Ackles, and then there's the supernatural guy. You put some name on his. You put some respect on his name.
Oh, sorry, supernatural guy. I don't
um,
know. I'm really excited to see where Invincible goes.
Agreed. It's and it's one of those things as well. It's like, when was it? God, I wonder if I still have the message that I sent him. Oh no, because it's when he was streaming. God damn it. There was one day when Xander was streaming and I wasn't doing anything, and I immediately sent a message. I was like, "Oh shit, new episode of Invincible came out," and I immediately started watching it. Like I completely forgot, but I was like so excited right there, like that, and quick, like,
Oh yeah, Fridays is my big show day right now, which seems weird because I watch that. There's a new Muddy Duck show on Disney.
I heard.
It's bad. I watch watching Falcon and Winter Soldier
Mm-hmm.
because that's on Fridays too. And then there's another show on Apple Plus called For All Mankind.
Okay.
And it's a show about space, the space race. So like if it's the space race as it was for us, but Russia beat the US to space. So that
Oh,
starts this whole spiral where like basically the space race never stops. Like right now they're in the 80s and they have moon bases with people with guns.
I'm a huge fan of anything like that.
But it's not out. It's like the thing is it's like a sci-fi, but it's not super
Well,
sci-fi. It's like literally
I mean more like you take something that has happened and you just tweak one element and then what
yeah.
happened, like that sort of thing. Huge fan of stuff like that.
It's my second favorite show from the last year,
Have
behind Ted Lasso.
so to start wrapping up everything, my question for you is: have you seen the Apple TV show C, the one with Momoa?
I've watched the first few episodes. It's very good.
Is it okay?
It's very weird. It's not an easy watch. I'm
Well,
watching through it slowly.
I was gonna say I've watched a bunch of like I just watch clips on YouTube.
You watched the clip where he killed a bunch of people in like
And
a pit filled with like it was like a wet pit.
no, I saw the one where they're on like a mountainside and they're fighting.
Yeah,
I've seen that one.
it's very cool. It's a very cool concept. Like everyone's blind and no one has like everyone's like, what do you mean see things?
Yeah.
Like what's sight?
It,
Like how that's blasphemy.
it's like I said. I thought it was when it first started. I mean, of course, anytime Momoa does anything, I'm always intrigued. But it was very interesting when I first saw like the stuff, and it's like, yeah, he's blind and everything, and then you see the fight scenes, and it's like, god damn, you know?
Oh, it's great. It's the world's really fleshed out of like see like when they go through villages of like how they get through the village. It's set up where they touch things, and it's like how they fight's all base. It's like not. It's like a lot of fighting is like on your knees and hands,
hmm
and it's all
it's
like
like you can tell like it's very tactile with a lot of the stuff, right?
yeah, and it's like the way like there are things that they do in the show that are like, oh wow, like that's like a really cool way to look at it
Exactly.
because it's like
You don't ever think about it.
no, because you don't like you don't think about a world where no one can see. Like there's a lot of things like they can't go to a lot of places because like like the world's gone. There's no roads. There's no anything left. So like they have to like cross the terrain. There's like this little the crevasse that falls into a river, and
hmm
the crevasse is maybe 15 feet across, but they just are like, yeah, that's death. There's nothing past that. Beyond that crevasse, there might as well be nothing.
Exactly. Like it's not one of those things where it's like you can see and be like, oh look, there's something over there. You physically
Yeah.
can't tell.
Like in the first episode, someone builds a bridge, and like that, and spoiler, someone has the ability to see.
Okay.
That's the whole purpose of the show. And someone has the ability to see, and because they have that, they can read and they can learn to do things. They build a bridge, but like no one had ever seen a bridge before or had ever been on a bridge before. Because you can't. build a bridge if you can't see what you're doing.
True.
So it was like a whole, like, what is this? What is this piece? They're
What is
magic.
this? What is this blasphemy?
Well, and that's the whole thing is that like a lot of them
Science.
there's like a whole witch. There's like a witch hunter. There's a whole thing. There's a whole. There's a weird thing where there's like a whole religion, where like the main person, when she prays, they eat her out. That's how she prays. There's like a lot of weird aspects to the show like that, but by and large, it's pretty good.
That's what I said. Fucking yeah. We're gonna end it with eating out a witch. Oh, let's fucking go. Sorry, just got really excited.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Smith has officially joined the Restore the Snyderverse.
Oh, cool.
Yep, he's officially on board, and along with Dwayne Johnson.
Well, wasn't he going to be? Who was he going to be?
Not who was he? He is. He's Black Adam.
And that's DC, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He has that movie all set up, and it's going to start filming. I think later this year. Pierce Brosnan's going to be in it.
Oh.
He's playing
Doctor.
He's playing Dr. Fate.
Is that a big character?
In DC, like Justice League Dark, like sort of the Magic universe. Yes.
Okay.
Ray Voodoo Tatum from Friday Night Lights, the TV show. He's in it.
Yep.
Voodoo. And then the other two characters, I don't know a whole lot about them, so I can't really be like, oh yeah. And then there's these two, but they look cool. I mean, they look fine for the roles. I mean,
okay.
But yeah, no, I'm excited
for it. Cast right there.
Well, that's the thing. I'm excited for it anyway because eventually we're gonna get Zachary Levi versus Dwayne Johnson, and there's been a lot of rumors.
Shazam.
Yeah, we're gonna get Shazam versus Black Adam, and there's been a lot of rumors that Henry Cavill's gonna be in it too, in that movie, in that final.
I really like Shazam.
Shazam's a fucking great movie, bro. But that's time for a topic for another day. Thank you.
Sorry, yeah, we did talk for a couple hours. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming on.
Of course.
Yeah. Is there any last comments you want to?
Millie Bobby Brown should be in prison. She killed millions of people. Don't let it die. I don't know why she's up walking the streets, going to school, being a normal kid. She should be locked up.
Oh, fucking A. Thank you everybody for stopping by and hanging out. I appreciate it. Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments down below. DeNutte, I'll leave your Twitch account information down below as well, along with the boys at Comic Relief. I'll leave all of that down in the description as well. And as always, depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, still trouble, stay safe, and we will talk to y'all later. Bye.